All right, good morning everyone. We have to do the remaining 3 years question papers, which is 2021, 2020 and 2019, right? Let's start with 2021. The first question that you find in 2021 is one that of syllogism. This is set A, remember this, right? You may have your own question papers. Usme numbering ke hisab se you have to check, right? The first question on logical reasoning in 2021, set A is question number 10, right? A statement is followed by conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 given below. You have to take the statement to be true even if it seems at variance from the commonly known facts. Read all the conclusions and then decide which of the conclusions logically follow or follows from the statement, disregarding the commonly known facts. The statements have been granted here. First one says, some radios are mobiles. Now, how do you represent this in a Venn diagram? If this is a set of radios, some radios are mobiles. All mobiles are computers. So all mobiles are computers. Some computers are watches. Some computers are watches. In the method that we follow, we do not have to draw possibilities. The first thing we see is, right, we draw the Venn diagram exactly as has been explained in the question. Then we label all these areas. This is area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the set of radios has what all? Radios is this circle. It has 1 and 2 in it. Mobiles is this circle. Mobile has 2 and 3 in it. The set of computers is this bigger circle. Computers has 2, 3, 4 and 5 in it. And then the set of watches. Watches is this circle, which is 5 and 6. Once you have labeled them, next read the conclusion. Conclusion 1 says, certainly some radios are watches, which says some radios are watches, logically follows from this. How do you read this? When you say some radios are watches, you have to check whether this is true or not. Why? Because he has said certainly some radios are watches. Now, how do you read this? Some elements of the set of radios must be common to that of watches, right? Now, radios is 1 and 2. Watches is 5 and 6. Since some elements are not common, that means it's not definitely true, right? Next thing you want to check for is whether there is a negative relationship between radios and watches. No such negative statement has been granted in the question itself. Therefore, it will not be a true statement. It will also not be a false statement. It will be a may or may not be true case. Right now, radios are not intersecting with watches, but there is nothing stopping watches from intersecting with radios too, right? So first one, does it follow? No, it does not, right? Only conclusion 1 nahi ho sakta. Both conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 nahi ho sakta. Next thing is, certainly some mobiles are watches, which is say you have to check whether some mobiles are watches. Mobiles is which set? Mobiles is 2 and 3. Watches is which set? It's 5 and 6. Are some elements of mobiles common to watches? No. Is there any negative relationship between the set of mobiles and watches? Any negative relationship that stops watches from intersecting with mobiles? No such thing. Therefore, it's neither a true statement nor a false statement. It's a may or may not be true statement, right? 3 things you have to check for. First, whether this statement holds or not. If it does not, then you have to check whether there is a negative relationship or not, right? If that is also not true, in which case it becomes a may or may not be true case. In this case, neither this is true nor this is true. Answer should be neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 follows. Remember, when they say neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 follows, it means the conclusions have to be definitely true, right? Conclusion may be true, it may be false, or it may be may or may not be true, right? You have to check what has been asked. Uske basis pe you have to mark. Get it? Very, very easy question. Let's do the next one. In set A, question number 15 is also of syllogism, right? Once again, you have to read the statements, you have to draw the Venn diagrams, and then see if the conclusions follow or not. First one says, some cats are almiras. So some cats are almiras, set of cats, set of almiras. Some almiras are chairs. Now, some almiras are chairs. All chairs are tables. All chairs are tables. Label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first conclusion asks you, certainly some almiras are tables. You have to check whether some almiras are tables is a true statement or not. Now, some almiras are tables. Which one is the set of almiras? This circle, it has 2, 3, and 4. Tables is this bigger circle, it has 4, 5, and 6. Are some elements of almiras common to that of tables? Yes. 4 region lies common. Therefore, this is a definitely true statement, right? Conclusion 1 definitely follows. Now you have to check for conclusion number 2. Conclusion 2 says, some cats may not be chairs. Remember, he's asking you some cats may not be chairs, right? He's not asking you whether some cats are chairs, right? He's asking you about a possibility of sorts. How do you do this? You have to check whether some cats are chairs or not. Now, cat is a set of 1 and 2. Chairs is a set of 4 and 5. Are some elements common? None. Is there any negative relationship between the set of cats and chairs? No such negative relationship has been granted in the statement. Therefore, this is a case of may or may not be true. That means some cats right now, if you draw it like this, are not chairs. But there is nothing stopping you drawing cats something like here. You could also draw cats here, right? In which case, it may even be true, right? Remember, if you're saying some cats may not be chairs, you are saying some cats may or may not be chairs. That means, is this statement a true statement or a false statement? Right? It's may or may not be true. Now, if you're saying some cats are almira, some cats may be chairs, you're also saying, implying that some cats may not be chairs, right? May ka matlab hai, there is some uncertainty here, right? So, is this a true statement or a false statement? This is a true statement, right? Why? Because this is a may or may not be wala case, right? If you're saying some cats may be chairs, you're also then implying some cats may not be chairs, right? May ka matlab kya hota hai? Some uncertainty, right? In this case, conclusion, both 1 and 2 will follow. This is something you have to check. Some cats may not be chairs, pucha isne. Get it? All right, let's move to the next one. Then also true, right? When you say may be chairs, it implies some may not be, right? May ka matlab kya? Some element of uncertainty is involved, right? May is where you are not sure. If he said some cats are, then he's definitely pointing out that some of them have to be chairs. Get it? All right. Next is images of consonants of the English alphabet, capitals, are observed in a mirror. What is the number of images of these which do not look like their original shapes? Firstly, he's not talking about all alphabets. Secondly, all of these alphabets have to be drawn in caps, right? Capitals, right? He's talking only and only about consonants, not of vowels. Which are the vowels? A, E, I, O, and U. There are 5 vowels. That means you don't have to check for these 5. You have to check for the remaining 21 consonants, right? Remaining 21 consonants mein, you have to hold a mirror, right? As against this mirror, you have to check whether the mirror image looks exactly like this letter or not, right? What are those numbers, the alphabets remaining? We'll have B, C, D, E nahi aayega, then F, G, H, then you'll have I aa gaya idhar. Then J ही बना देता हूँ इसको. K, L, M, N, O नहीं आएगा. Then P, then you'll have Q, R, S, T, U नहीं आएगा. V, W, X, Y, and Z. Right? You have to draw a mirror. You have to hold a mirror and see what will be the mirror image. Mirror image exactly किसकी similar होनी चाहिए? B की तो नहीं होगी, C की भी नहीं होगी, D will also not be the case. F will also not be the case. G will also not be the case. Will H be? Yes. H ka mirror image will also look exactly the same. In which case, if he had mentioned keeping the mirror horizontal, typically that is more in वो जो water वाला situation बताते हैं. Ordinarily, you have to hold it vertically only, right? Now, वो shadow पूछ लेंगे आपसे या फिर they will mention exactly what it is. Right? Ordinarily, you will hold the mirror, right? थोड़ा सा vertically. J is not the same. K is not the same. L is not the same. M is. N is also not the same. P is also not the same. Right? Q is not the same. R is not the same. S is also not the same. T, yes. V also. W also. X also. Y no? If you're drawing Y like this, yes. Y also then. Right? Not Z? No. It will look something like this. Right? So how many of these work? H works. M works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Right? There are total of 26 alphabets, 5 of them are vowels. The remaining 21 में से 7 look exactly the same. That means which ones do not look the same? 21 minus 7, which is going to be 14. Answer should be 14. Right? Easy. Is it or is it not? Do the next one. A bank employee drives 10 kilometers towards south from her house, turns to her left and drives another 20 kilometers. So somebody starting from the house drives firstly 10 kilometers towards the south. This is 10. Now the person is facing the south, right? Then he turns towards her left. If you're facing the south and you turn towards your left, you will then be facing in the east direction, right? In the east direction, this employee moves roughly around 20 kilometers. Right, now she is facing the east. She again turns left and drives 40 kilometers. Now from here, she takes another left and drives how much? 40 odd kilometers. Now she is facing the north. Then she turns to her right. If she is facing the north, turns to her right, that means she is once again facing the east direction. Right, drives for another 5 kilometers. Another 5 kilometers. She again turns to her right and drives another 30 kilometers. Right? Now she is facing the east. If she turns to her right, then she is going to be facing the south direction. Right? And drives how much? She drives 30 kilometers. You have to be a little mindful here. Why? Because opposite sides of a rectangle are the same. Right? If you can make that projection, right? This side and this side should be the same. Right? Here you have already 10. Right? That means the remaining will be how much? 30. Right? That means both of these points are in alignment with each other. Get it? Now this is how much? This is 30 kilometers, right? This is how much? Opposite sides of a rectangle. This is 20. This should be 10. All of this is 40, right? What is the shortest distance between her bank and her house? So she started from the bank here, reached her house here. What will be the shortest distance? Right? It will be 20 plus this much, which is going to be 5. Answer should be 25. How long does it take for you to solve this? Right, अभी तक 4 questions कर चुके हैं, right? Less than 5 minutes to do these 4. You have already pocketed 10 marks, right? Next is once again a question on directions. A woman runs 12 kilometers towards her north, then 6 kilometers towards her south, then 8 kilometers towards her east. Goes 12 kilometers towards the north, then goes 6 kilometers towards her south, and then goes 8 kilometers towards her east. Right? Now he is asking you, in which direction is she from the starting point? Firstly, which direction from the starting point? Started here, right? This is which direction? This is going to be north of east, right? This is northeast, but he's not asking you just northeast. He's also asking about a certain angle, right? Which is to say, if you look from here, what will be this angle, right? Now, firstly, south of east to nahi hoga. You have an option from B and D itself, right? Now, every time you make a right turn or a left turn, you are making a 90-degree ka turn, right? You have to find out angles kya honge, right? This is a 90-degree. Now, the sum of angles of a triangle is 180. That means the sum of angle 1 and sum of angle 2. Angle 1 plus angle 2 should be 90 degrees. Why? Because this is 90, right? Now, is this a triangle? Does it look like an isosceles triangle? Is this? Not at all. Are these two sides the same? They're not the same, right? So you need to know the property of a triangle, right? The property of a triangle would be that a bigger side will subtend a bigger angle, right? That means angle 1 should be greater than angle 2. Why? Because the side opposite to angle 1 is 8 and the side opposite to angle 2 is 6. So angle 1 therefore has to be greater than angle 2. If they were both equal, then angle 1 and angle 2 would have been 45 degrees. Clearly they are not equal and angle 1 is more than 45 degrees, right? This angle 1 is more than 45 degrees. North of east, this is greater than 45. That means this angle then has to be less than 45 degrees, right? North of east bola, ye dhyan dena, right? So we have to check from the east direction, right? How much north of east, right? This angle has to be then less than 45 degrees, right? Get it? Remember the wording here is north of east, right? So you have to check from the east direction kitna angle, right? Get it? Because ye more than 45 bhi dikh sakta hai aapko. This is where the wording will be important, right? It's a very, very basic question. If you just know the properties of triangles, you can easily solve it, right? Only thing being, you have to be a little careful of the nomenclature, right? Okay. How much did it take for you to solve this one? Not a lot. Let's do the next one. This is a question on arrangements. 7 books, PQR, STU, and V are placed side by side. R, Q, and T have blue covers. Right? There are 7 books placed side by side. P, Q, R, S, T, U, and V. R, Q, and T have blue covers. R has a blue cover, Q has a blue cover, and T has a blue cover. The other books have red covers. So the other books are red, 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 and red. These are the covers. Only S and U are new books. That means only S is new and only U is new. That means the remaining ones have to be old. Right? P, R, and S are law reports. Now P is a law report, R is a law report, and S is also a law report. The rest are gazetteers. Right? This is a gazetteer, this is a gazetteer, this is a gazetteer, and this is also a gazetteer. Books of old gazetteers with blue covers are. So you have to check for those books which are old gazetteers and have blue covers. How many books are old gazetteers? There are 4 gazetteers. Old gazetteers with blue cover. This is one, right? Check for another gazetteer. This is another gazetteer. Old gazetteer with a blue cover. 2, right? This is also a gazetteer but red cover. Gazetteer but a red cover. That means only 2, which is Q and T. Answer should be C. How long does it take for you to solve it? Right? Up until now, how many questions have we done? Already 6 odd. This is 15 marks pocketed in less than 10 minutes, right? I told you if you go from 2023, right, backwards, you will find the questions are easier, right? As you go towards 2023, you will start to find, even in logical reasoning, although I wouldn't think that they are very hard questions. 1-2 questions ho sakte hain thode tricky ho, which you will find here also. Next is replace the incorrect term by the correct term in the given sequence. The sequence has been granted, where the odd terms and even terms follow the same pattern. Now he's not saying odd numbers and even numbers. He's saying odd terms and even terms, right? In this sequence, which are the odd terms? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. These are the odd terms. He's saying the odd terms are following the same pattern as the even terms, right? What is the pattern between the odd terms? 3, 7, 13, 21, 31 and 43. It's an ascending series, right? Check for it. The first thing you would check for is addition. 3 plus 4, 7 plus 6, 13 plus 8, 21 plus 10, and 31 plus 12. So they are increasing by a factor of 2 odd. The same pattern applies to the even numbers, right? Even terms are 2, 4, 10, 18, 28 and 40. Right? The same sequence should apply. That means this plus this should be plus 4. Right? This should be plus 6, which it is. Right? 4 plus 6 is 10. Next is 10 plus 8, then 18 plus 10, then 28 plus 12. Only one term does not follow the sequence, which is this term. Right? You have to first find out which term does not follow the sequence and then replace it. What should go here? It should be 0. Why? Because plus 4 will be 4. Right? The answer should be 0. Does it take you a lot of time? Not at all. Right? The question was fairly simple. The only thing is odd terms bola, because in the thick of things, what you will do is you probably will confuse it with odd numbers. Don't do that. Read the question very carefully. He's saying the odd terms follow a sequence, even terms also follow the same sequence. You have to replace the odd one out, right? First you have to find out which one is the odd one out, and then you have to replace it with the correct thing. Get it? Following is a matrix of certain entries. The entries follow a certain trend row-wise, right? इसने खुद ही specify कर दिया, they follow a trend row-wise, right? Choose the missing entry accordingly. Now there are numbers and then there are alphabets. This is an alphanumeric series of sorts, right? They will follow a trend row-wise. Firstly, you can look at the alphabets. Alphabets are first B, A and C. The next is C, B and A. If you go place C here, and the remaining would be khiska out. B will come here and A will come here. Next time, A will go here, C will come here and B will come here. Right? That means A goes here, yes. C comes here, yes. This alphabet has to be B. That means A nahi hoga, C nahi hoga. Now the answer is between A and C. Right? Now look at the numbers. Right? You have 7, 10 and 3. 10 minus 7 is 3. You have 3, 9 and 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. You have then 10, 13. This should be 13 minus 10. This should be 3. This should be 3B. Answer should be C. Difficult? Let's move to the next one. Once again, a question on series. Right? You are given two identical sequences in 2 rows. That means this sequence follows a certain pattern which is being followed by this sequence also. What is the entry in the place of C? You have to calculate what C is. You don't have to go aage, just calculate what C is. Right? Now let us see what the sequence is being followed here. If you have to go from 8 to 4, how do you go from 8 to 4? Multiply it by a 0.5 or divide it by 2. Right? How do you go from 4 to 6? Multiply it by a 1.5. How do you go from 6 to 15? Multiply it by 2.5. How do you go from 15 to 52.5? Right? Ordinarily, ho kya raha hai? This is being added. 1 is being added here. 15 times 3.5 should be 52.5. 15 times 3 is how much? 45. And 15 into 0.5 should be 7.5. Right? So 45 plus 7.5 should be 52.5. Now this clearly then has to be. And we shouldn't even worry about this. You just have to find the sequence. Right? Now you have to come down to C. You have been given the starting number. The starting number is 5. Next number should be 5 into 0.5. A should be 2.5. Right? Next number should be 2.5 times 1.5. This should be how much? 3.75. Right? By now you should know how to calculate fast. Right? 25 times 15 करना एक तरीके से. So 25 times 10, 250. 25 times 5, 125. So 250 plus 125, 375. These are decimals, so 3.75. Next should be 3.75 times 2.5. Whether you want to now waste your time solving it or just look at the options. Right? Will 3.75 times 2.5 be 2.5? ये तो नहीं होगा. क्या 3.75 multiplied by 2.5 will it be 5? ये भी नहीं होगा. क्या 3.75 multiplied by 2.5 will it be 32 point something? Of course not. It has to be 9.375. Get it? कई बार टाइम लगाओगे आप इसको कैलकुलेट करने में. Don't waste your time. Just look at the options, right? And you can mark them. Difficult? Okay. This is a question on ranking arrangements. Statement 1, statement 2, and question. Right? Which is once again a data sufficiency question, but applied to ranking arrangements. Right? he is asking you a certain question. You have to find out what is Seema's rank from the top in a class of 40 students, right? He has given you the total number of students is 40, right? You have to find out whether statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question, statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question, whether you will require a combination of them or you will require none of them. Both of them combined also will not solve this question. First, look at statement number 1. Statement 1 says, Priya is 4 ranks below Seema and 31st from the bottom. So he has given you the rank of Priya from the bottom. Priya's rank from the bottom is, what is it? 31. And Priya is 4 ranks below Seema. Now ordinarily if you go along the rank list, Priya is 4 ranks below Seema. That means from the bottom, Seema should be how much? Listen, there is a list. In the list, this is Seema and then 4 people below them. Below is Priya. Right? Priya is 31st from the bottom. So Seema from the bottom should be how much? 31 plus 4, which should be 35. Right? He said Priya is 4 ranks below Seema. So in the order, normal rank order, Priya is 4 ranks below Seema. Right? So Seema is 4 ranks above Priya. Now Priya is also 31st from the bottom. Right? From the bottom, Seema will be how much? Since Seema is 4 ranks above Priya in the normal sequence, from the bottom if you look at, if Priya is 31, she should be 32, 33, 34 and 35. Right? Now, what is the question? The question is, what is Seema's rank from the top? Right? Now, it's a very basic question. Right? You know that Seema's rank from the top plus Seema's rank from the bottom should be total plus 1. Right? You know what Seema's rank from the bottom is? It is 35. You know what the total is? 40. Right? Seema's rank from the top. So Seema's rank from the top should be how much? 41 minus 35, which is 6. But the question is not what is Seema's rank. The question is, can you find it out using conclusion 1, using statement 1? Yes, you can. Right? Next is check for statement 2. Statement 2 is very similar. Statement 2 says, Ina is 2 ranks above Seema. So in the normal rank list, Ina is above Seema. Previously, Priya was below Seema. Ina is 2 ranks above Seema. Ina's rank is 37 from the bottom. So Ina's rank from the bottom is 37. Since in the normal list, Ina is above 2 ranks above Seema, that means Seema's rank from the bottom should be how much? 37 minus 2, right? This should be 35, right? You have Ina, then you have Seema, right? From the bottom, Ina is 37. So from the bottom, Seema should come first, right? Should be how much? 37 minus 2, right? Same thing. Seema's rank from the bottom is 35. You know what the total is? Total is 40. So Seema's rank from the bottom plus Seema's rank from the top should be 40 plus 1. You will come down to the same answer, right? 41 minus Seema's rank from the bottom, which is 35, should be 6. So statement 1 gives you the answer. Statement 2 gives you the answer, right? Statement 1 alone is not sufficient, incorrect. Statement 2 alone is not sufficient, incorrect. Either statement 1 alone or statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. You do not require a combination of these two, right? Either 1 or 2, you'll come down to the same answer. Answer should be C. Right? This is one of the most basic questions that you will ever get. Next. Each of A and D is heavier than each of B, E and F. That means A individually is heavier than B, E and F. Right? Each of A and D is heavier than each of B, E and F. So individually A is heavier than B, A is heavier than E, A is heavier than F. Between B, E and F you will not say, right? You don't know. But A is heavier than all of these three. D is also the same. D is heavier than B, E and F. Right? Now A is heavier than B, E and F. D is heavier than B, E and F. Between D and A, can you say something? You will not know. Right? Which one is heavier amongst A and D? You don't know. Right? But none of them is the heaviest. Right? Neither A nor D. Of course, B, E and F cannot be heaviest. Right? Neither of them is the heaviest. Question is, who is the heaviest amongst A, B, C, D and E? Can statement 1 alone tell you which of these is the heaviest? right? You don't know anything about C yet, right? C के बारे में आपको कोई idea है नहीं, right? In the question he has also not told you that there are so many people, right? वो भी नहीं बताया हुआ है. C के बारे में कोई relation नहीं है. What you know for sure is B, E and F are not the heaviest for sure. ये आपको पता है, right? Between A and D you can't tell, right? Statement 2 individually says A is heavier than D, but A is lighter than C. Or you can write it down as C is heavier than A, heavier than D. Right? Now, does this statement alone tell you which is the heaviest? Statement 2 does not talk about B, E and F, so you don't know. Right? Statement 2 alone से आप बता पाएंगे कि इनमें से A, B, C, D and E में से कौन heaviest है? No, because statement 2 only tells you about C, A and D, does not tell you anything about B, does not tell you about E. Right? So statement 2 alone also will not be able to help you. Right? Now, if you can combine both of these, right? Statement 2 tells you C is heavier than A is heavier than D. Both A and D are heavier than B, E and F. So can you write it something like this? Right? Between B, E and F, we don't know respective positions, but we don't also have to care. Why? Because the question is which of these is the heaviest? Heaviest clearly is C, right? Therefore, the answer should be both statement 1 and statement 2 are required to answer the question C. Easy? Basic inequalities का question. Remember, data sufficiency is a type of questions को एक तरीके से solve किया जाता है. हाँ जी. Yes, but once again, C के बारे में no information was given. That A is not the heaviest, D is not the heaviest, does not tell you that C is the heaviest. Right? There are other options also, ना? E भी है, F भी बता के रखा हुआ है इसने. Right? Statement 1 alone only tells you that A and D are not the heaviest. Right? B, E and F of course cannot be the heaviest because they are less than A and D. Right? Now because it does not tell you anything about C, and इसीलिए तो question में भी कहीं नहीं लिखा हुआ है ना, there are only so many boxes. Right? अगर तो वो लिखा होता कि बस A, C, B, E and F इतने ही boxes हैं, A, B, C, D, E and F, then you would have said कि C clearly is the heaviest. Right? The statement does not tell you how many boxes there are. Right? And in this question also, he has not mentioned F. F भी mention नहीं किया हुआ. Right? Ordinarily, you would presume that if he had said A, B, C, D, E and F are 6 boxes, each of these have different weights, then statement 1 alone is sufficient. Right? Why? Because A is heavier than B, E and F, D is heavier than B, E and F, A and D are not the heaviest. Clearly, the remaining box, which is C, that should be the heaviest. But the question does not tell you how many boxes there are in total. Right? वो नहीं बताया. Right? In the English alphabet, the first 4 letters are written in the opposite order, and the next 4 letters are written in the opposite order, and so on. Right? How many alphabets in the English series? There are 26. Right? There are sets of 4 being created. Right? First 4 are first written in the opposite order, then the next 4 are written in the opposite order. Right? How many sets of 4 can you create? Out of a total of 26 alphabets, you will have 6 sets of 4 plus 2 letters will be remaining. ऐसा कुछ? Right? Yeah, so 4 letters in opposite order and so on. And at the end, Y and Z are interchanged. The remaining ones will be Y and Z, last 2, they are also interchanged. He is asking you which will be the 4th letter to the right of the 13th letter. Right? 13th letter कब आएगा? Where you have 3 sets completed. Right? The first set of 4 is completed, second set of 4 is completed, and third set of 4 is completed. Right? That means 12 के बाद ही 13th आएगा. Right? Ordinarily 13th कौन सा होता है in the series? J is the 10th, K is the 11th, and L is the 12th. M has to be the 13th. Right? That means the next set of 4 should have been, normally should have been M, N, O, and P, but this has to be reversed. Right? So the 13th one will be P, O, N, and M, but he's asking you 4th from the 13th. P is the 13th. 1, 2, 3. That means you have to move to the next set. Next set ordinarily should have been Q, R, S, and T, but you have to reverse it. That means this will be T, S, R, and Q. So the 4th one from 13th will be 1, 2, 3, and 4, which will be T. Difficult? Is it difficult? Right? How many questions did you find which are actually really challenging? None. Up until now, no question was very challenging. Right? हाँ, reverse order किया ना? That's what we did. उसको भी reverse किया ही ना? ऐसे कौन सा आने वाला था? 13th would have been which one? M, right? So M N O P normal series में होनी चाहिए थी, इसीलिए 13th कौन सा बन जाएगा? P, right? P से तुम्हें 4th चेक करना है, right? P के बाद कौन सा आएगा? You will have in that set of 4, you will have 3 only. That means you have to move to the next set, right? Okay. This is a question on calendars. It says the last day of the month is a Wednesday, right? This is the statement. Statement 2 says the third Saturday of the month was the 17th day. Question is, what day is the 14th of the given month, right? Now, once again, it's a data sufficiency question. Whether statement 1 alone is able to tell you what should be the 14th day of the month, whether statement 2 alone is able to tell you whether you need a combination or even a combination does not work, right? Now, statement 1 says the last day of the month is a Wednesday, right? Can you use statement 1 alone to tell what will be the 14th day? No. Why? Because there are multiple possibilities of the last day of a month. It could be the month of February in a non-leap year, where it would be 28. It could be February in the leap year, where it could be the 29th, or it could be the 30th or the 31st. Since you do not know what month is being spoken of, he has not also said anything about the year also. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Let's look at statement 2. Statement 2 says the third Saturday of the month was the 17th day. Now it's very, very easy now, right? He's telling you the third Saturday of the month was the 17th day. That means 17th of this month is a Saturday. We don't care if it's the first, second, third. It does not really matter. What is being told is 17th of this month is a Saturday. Can you from this tell what is the 14th of the month? Easily, right? If the 17th is a Saturday, 16th would be Friday, 15th would be Thursday, and 14th would be Wednesday. He's not asking you what is 14th, right? He's asking you whether statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Answer should be B. Easy? Which day is 10th of October 2027? Basic calendars, right? A very basic question where he has not specified the reference date. कोई reference date बताई नहीं आपको, सीधे आपको you just have to find out a certain day. How do you do this? 10th of October 2027 he's asking. 10th of October 2027. First thing you have to keep in mind is that you are in the middle of year 2027. It has not completed, right? So you need to first deconstruct it, right? Find out the number of years which have completed. How many years would have completed before this? How many years? 2026, 2026 years have completed. Next date would be 1st of January 27, and you have to go till the 10th of October 2027. Right? That's how you first deconstruct it. Next step, what do? Right? These years, you have to split them into century years and non-century years. Right? Why? Because we have code for century years. Right? Now this you will write down as 2000 plus 26 years. You can straight up start to solve them. Right? अब मेरे को दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए. Ordinarily, these are the question where he has not given you the reference date. If there is no reference date granted, that means the reference date automatically becomes day 0 of the Gregorian calendar, which was a Sunday. The normal convention is whenever we are finding out the odd days, we either take the reference date or we take the target date. Ordinarily, I recommend you don't take the reference date, always take the target date. But this is not the reference date. Why? Because the reference date is day 0 in these questions. Right? Therefore, in the month of January, there will be all 31 days you have to count. Right? Now, if all 31 days will be counted in the month of January, how many odd days? 31 divided by 7. The odd days in the month of January will be 3. February may you always have to be careful. Why? Because it could be a leap year, it could not be a leap year. Is 2027 a leap year? It's not. That means in the month of February, there will be 28 days. Remainder will be 0. In the month of March, how many? 31. So remainder will be 3. April, May, 30 days. Remainder will be 2. May, 31 days. Remainder will be 3. June, 2. July, 3. August, 3. September, 2. And then October, May, you have to go till the 10th. You will have to include this because this is the target date. Right? So 10 divided by 7. Remainder will be 3. right? Now 2000 के लिए code is 0. Amongst these 26 years, how many leap years? Divide 26 by 4, find out what the quotient is, right? Quotient would be 6. So 6 leap years and 20 non-leap years. Remember, complete ho chuke hain. The next year is 2001 and you have to go from 2001 to 2026. Amongst these, which would be the leap years? 2004, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, right? These will be your leap years, 6 leap years, and the remaining will be non-leap years. You can straight up start to solve them, right? 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11, 13, 16, 19, 21, 24, right? 24, because it's greater than or equal to 7, you will furthermore divide by 7, the remainder will be 3, right? Now for 6 leap years, each leap year has 2 odd days, each non-leap year has 1 odd day. That will be 0 को रहने दो अब तो. This will be 12 plus 20. Then यहाँ पर तो अपना remainder है ही 3. 12 plus 20 is 32. Now 32 divided by 7, remainder once again will be 4. So 4 plus 3. It is 7, because 7 is once again greater than or equal to 7. You will further divide 7 by 7. Answer should be 0. That means 0 odd days, right? Between day 0 and the 10th of October 2027. Day 0 was a Sunday. Sunday plus 0 will also be a Sunday. Right? Do we have a Sunday in the options? I think we do. Option A. Easy? ठीक? Let's move to the next one. Once again, a question on syllogism. Statement 1 says, some greens are blues. How do you represent some greens are blues? If this is a set of greens, some greens are blues. Some blues are blacks. So how do you represent some blues are blacks? Some blues are blacks. Next thing is, you want to label it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? No negative statement has been granted. Conclusion 1 says, some greens are blacks. How do you read some greens are blacks? Some elements of greens should be common to blacks. Greens is 1 and 2. Blacks is 4 and 5. Nothing in common. Is there any negative relationship between the two? None. Therefore, it is a case of may or may not be true. Right? This is may or may not be true. No green is black. Right? No green is black ka meaning, how do you read this? No part of green can intersect with black. Right? How will that be possible? Only and only if the statement gave you any negative relationship. Right now it's not intersecting, but is there anything stopping greens from intersecting with blacks? Nothing. Right? This is once again a case of may or may not be true. All greens are blacks. How do you read this? All elements of greens should be common to blacks. All elements are common. Not a single element is common. Right? So is there any negative relationship between greens and blacks? Once again, nothing. That means it's again is a case of may or may not be true. All blacks are greens. Same thing. Right? All blacks are greens. Blacks is 4 and 5. Greens is 1 and 2. Are all elements common? No. Is there any negative relationship between blacks and greens? No. This is again a case of may or may not be true. Right? Which of these is correct? Right? Which of these conclusions follow? Neither 1, nor 2, nor 3, nor 4 follow. Follow का मतलब क्या है? Which of these is definitely true? Get it? He may have even asked you which of these do not follow. Do not follow का मतलब क्या है? Which of these is definitely false? Right? All of these are may or may not be true वाले cases. Remember, conclusions can be true, they can be false, they can be an uncertain conclusion, which is say it may be true, may not be true. Right? Easy? One of the more basic questions on syllogism. What is the value of x in this sequence? Sequence is 2, 7, 22, 67, 202, x, 1822. He is asking you to find out the value of x. It's an ascending series that starts from 2, then how many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms, it goes on to 1822. That means it's most likely a operator of multiplication or that of powers. How do you go from 2 to 7? 2 times 3 plus 1. How do you go from 7 to 22? 7 times 3 plus 1. How do you go from 22 to 67? 22 times 3 is 66 plus 1. How do you go from 67 to 202? 67 times 3 is 201 plus 1 is 202. Next term clearly has to be 202 times 3 plus 1. which will be 606 plus 1, 607. 607 को आप multiply कर दीजिएगा into से 3 से plus 1, you will get 1822. Answer should be 607. Right? This is one series that you can look at and tell कि क्या होगा इसका answer. Right? Not the more difficult ones. Once again, a question on words, on codes. There is a word granted in a code, in a code language. Mathematics is written as something. This is the code. How is chemistry written? So you just have to find out the distances between the word and the code. Mathematics is written as L, B, S, I, D, N, Z, U, H, D, R. N, Z, U, H, D, and R. Now, how do you go from M to L? This should be -1. M से पहले आता है L. How do you go from A to B? +1. A plus +1 is B, right? How do you go from T to S? -1. How do you go from H to I? +1. How do you go from E to D? -1. How do you go from M to N? +1. A to Z? -1. T to U? +1. I to H? -1. C to D? +1. S to R? -1. This is the exact same you have to copy, right? Now the word is chemistry. You have to solve from -1 +1 alternately. The word is chemistry. -1 +1, -1 +1, -1 +1, -1 +1, -1. Right? C -1 should be B. Right? Now between this and this, everything is common up until this point. Right? Just find out 1, 2, 3, 4 वाला क्या होगा. Right? This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. M plus 1 should be N. Right? Between this and this, answer should be done. How long does it take you? Almost no time. This is a question on clocks, right? At which one of the following times do the hour hand and the minute hand of a clock make an angle of 180 degrees with each other, right? You have been given certain time frames. You have to find out, right, which of these is the one wherein the hour hand, the minute hand of the clock strike 180, right? If you know the formula, it's very, very easy to do, right? The time that has been granted to you, minimum time is 7, सबसे कम time is 7, and सबसे ज़्यादा time is 7:10, right? Intervals of 5 minutes. You find out the angles at various times. The angle का formula will be theta is equal to modulus of 5h minus m into 6 plus m by 2, right? Find out the time at 7, find out the time at 7:05, find out the angle at 7:10, right? The one जिसके range में lie करता होगा, that will be the answer, right? At 7, hour hand will be 7, minute hand will be 0. So at 7 o'clock, what is theta? Modulus of 5h. h is 7 minus m. 7 o'clock पे m is 0 into 6 plus 0 by 2. This is going to be 35 times 6, 150. Sorry, 35 times 6, this will be 210 degrees. Right? At 7 o'clock, the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand of a clock is 210 degrees or 360 degrees minus 210, which is going to be 150. Right? That is it. So is it 180? Not at all. ये तो नहीं है. Right? At 7:05, angle will be modulus of 5h minus m into 6 plus m by 2. M is 5 divided by 2. Now 35 minus 5 is 30 times 6 is 180. 180 plus 2.5 is 182.5. Right? Now from 7 o'clock to 7:05, you are going from 210 to 182.5. Is 180 coming in between? No. Right? At 7:05, is this the answer? No. Right? So between 7 and 7:05, no. At 7:05, no. By elimination, this should be the answer. Right? But if you want to solve it for 7:10 now. Theta will be 5 into 7 minus 10 times 6 plus 10 by 2. 5 into 7 is 35, minus 10 is 25. 25 into 6 is 150. 150 plus 5 be 155 degrees. So 705 pe the angle is 182.5. 710 pe the angle is 155. How do you go from 182.5 to 155? Somewhere in the middle you will find 180. Answer should be this. You can also do it logically. Right? If you know the formula, much easier. Easy? Okay. Once again, another basic question. In an objective type test of 90 questions, total questions is 90. 5 marks are allocated for every correct answer. So correct answer plus 5. 2 marks are deducted for every wrong answer. If the answer is wrong, minus 2. After attempting all the 90 questions, so total questions attempted is 90. A student got a total of 387 marks. Total score is 387. What is the number of incorrect responses? Now this is something that you should all learn because I have so many times in my classes only, I have asked you to calculate your negative score, you can't do that. It's very simple. How do you do this? You know that the total number of questions attempted is 90. Sare ke sare questions attempt kiye, right? If the incorrect responses are 9, that means how many responses are correct? 81 are correct and 9 are wrong. For each correct, you get a plus 5. That means 81 times 5. For each wrong, you get a minus 2. That means 9 times minus 2. This will be 405 minus 18. This should be 387. Answer should be A. Simple. He has given you options. Options mein, these are the number of incorrect responses. If these are the incorrect responses, you already know how many questions have been attempted. The remaining have to be correct. So for each correct, you have to give plus 5. For each incorrect, you have to give minus 2. And then calculate the total score. Right? Lucky for you, option A is where you find it. Easy? Once again, this is one type of question where you just have to put the options back into it. Always start these questions on the bottom. Right? Hamesha bottom se, because these questions are primarily meant to waste your time. Right? Hamesha kya karna chahiye? Bottom se start karo. Right? Okay, let's first write it down. Alright, count the number of events in this sequence. How many? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you have a total of 18. Now 18 mein how many sets can there be? You can have 9 sets of 2. You can have 6 sets of 3. You can have 3 sets of 6. You can even have 2 sets of 9. Right? The most common would be this and this. Right? Check karne ke liye. Right? Put the options back into it. Right? Put A, B, A, B and B, A, B, A, B, A and B. Right? Check if you find a certain sequence. You can check for a sequence of 6 odd or a sequence of 3 odd. Right? ABB, AAB, ABB, AAB, ABB, AAB. Right? Answer has to be D. Easy? Right? Thoda sa organized tarike se, you just have to put this back into it, right? And find out ki kaun se sequences work karte hain. Right? Sometimes it may even take time, but this is a question that you always should be doing. Right? Isme kuch solve nahi karna hai. You just have to put it back into it and see if the pattern is being followed. Simple? Okay. Next question is, Joseph visits the club every 5th day. Harsh visits on every 24th day, while Sumit visits on every 9th day. If 3 of them met at the club on a Sunday, then on which day will all of them meet again? So they all meet on a Sunday. Starting from this Sunday, Joseph is going to come on the 5th day, Harsh is going to come on the 24th day, and Sumit is going to come on the 9th day each. Right? Basically, you have to find out what? Right? Which day will they come back to? Right? Commonly. You have to find out the LCM of 5, 12 and 9. How do you find out the LCM of 5, 12 and 9? Prime factorization karo. This will be 5 times 1. 12 will be 2 ka square. सॉरी हाँ 12 नहीं है 24 है, सॉरी. LCM of 5, 24 and 9. So 5 prime factorization करके लिखेंगे तो 5 times 1, 24 will be 2 raised to power 3 times 3, 9 will be 3 का square. In an LCM, what do? You find out each separate distinct term and write its highest power and multiply them. You have 1, 2, 3 and 5. 1 तो क्या फायदा लिखने का? Right? 2 की highest power is 3, 3 की highest power is 2 and then 5. 2 power 3 is 8, 8 times 9 is 72, 72 times 5 is 360. LCM is 360. So they are going to come back after this Sunday, they are going to come back on the 360th day, right? That means out of these 360 days, what will be the number of odd days? 360 divided by 7, remainder should be 3, right? That means this will be Sunday plus 3. Answer should be Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Easy? That's it. Now in this paper, 2021, did you find even a single challenging question? Right? How many questions did you do? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 questions. So 21 times 2.5 is roughly 50 something, right? And you have to get a 67. Right? Only if you would have found out LR के questions कौन से हैं, try to do them first, right? You have pocketed 50 marks straight up. This is 2021, right? And even in 2021, a lot of people have failed, right? Primarily for this reason. One, lack of practice. Secondly, do not have a strategy as to how to attempt the CSAT का paper. First, segregate, right? LR is typically the easier of the two sections, which is quants and LR. दोनों में से easy LR होता है, and LR इसमें तो चलो 21 questions से, this is going to be in the range of 15 to 20 odd. Even if it's 15 questions, that means 37.5 marks. 37.5 marks में से I can assume चलो 2 or 3 would be difficult, right? 30 you can easily pocket, right? 30 out of a total of 67 that you have to get, right? That your task is so much more easier if you get this. All right. You want to do? We'll take a short break right now, or should we start to do straight up 2020? Right? We'll do 1 year each and then we'll take a small break. Chalega? Right? Now we'll do 2020. Cool. The most number of questions were, I think, in 2021. Right? We'll take a short break, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll come back.
Hello aspirants, ready to master the UPSC Prelims exams? Introducing Sandhan, the personalized test series from VisionIAS. Gain access to over 15,000 high-quality questions customized for your personal study needs. Choose between VisionIAS and UPSC previous year questions for your tests. Sharpen your time management with timed assessments under exam conditions. Get tailored feedback and recommendations from targeted improvement. Build your confidence through customized practice sessions. Take control of your preparation. Enroll in the Sandhan Personalized Test Series today.
All right. I see there is a doubt to this for this question. ACDEF wala. This one, right? Remember, this is a data sufficiency question. The question nowhere mentions how many total number of whatever elements or people, whatever this is, वो mention नहीं किया. Data sufficiency का मतलब क्या है? If you are looking at statement 1, on the basis of statement 1 alone, can you answer this question? Right? What it tells you is, okay, each of A and D is heavier than each of B, E and F. Which is say A is heavier than D, B, E and F, D is heavier than B, E and F. A and D are not the heaviest. This is the only information you have gotten. You don't know what is the total number of people, right? You also don't know, right, amongst this C ka position hai kya, right? He's saying A is not the heaviest, D is not the heaviest, right? But he is not mentioned anything about C, right? A could still be heavier than C, D could still be heavier than C and yet not be the heaviest. Because you have not been granted kitne hai log total, right? This is the reason why you don't have to pick this. Get it? इसीलिए if he had specified in the beginning itself, na, these are the total number of people, right? Amongst them, if he had asked you, then though it makes sense. On the basis of statement 1 alone, right, what you can conclude is A is not the heaviest. That means there must be somebody heavier than A for sure, right? Whether it's C or not, we can't say, because nothing has been granted with respect to C in statement 1. And he has also not granted to you कि total कितने लोग हैं, right? This is the reason why you don't pick A. Let's do 2020. 2020 questions. All right, first one is, in this sum, for which digit does the symbol something stand? Right? You just have to replace the symbol with any of these numbers and then calculate कि sum ये आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. Right? First thing में you have to replace the symbol with 2. So what you have to write is 2 plus 12 plus 52 plus 22 plus 21. It should be 122. You don't have to solve all of it, just units place ही पहले एक बारी calculate कर लो. 2 plus 2 is 4, 6, 8 and 9. 9 तो है ही नहीं, so 2 नहीं होगा. Move to 3. You have 3 plus 13 plus 53 plus 33 plus 31 should be 133. Now 3 plus 3 is 6, 9, 12, 13. Confirmed. 1 आया, 2, 5, 7, 10 and 13. Answer should be this. Easy. All of these are set A, right? Next question, right? If you have two straight sticks of length 7.5 feet and 3.25 feet, what is the minimum length can you measure? Now, a very straightforward way of doing this is, right, if you have been granted this, take out the HCF, right? You have to find out the HCF of these, the HCF of 7.5 and 3.25. 7.5 you can write down is 75 by 10. This is 325 by 100. Right? Now, do you know how to find out the HCF of fractions? क्या होता है formula? It is the HCF of the numerator divided by the LCM of the denominator. First, you have to resolve this. 5, 1, 15, 5, 2. Right? Yeah. 5, 15, 5, 2, 5, 6, 5, 20. Right? Once again, 5, 13, 5, 4. You have to find out the HCF of 15 by 2 and 13 by 4. This is going to be HCF of the numerator divided by LCM of the denominator. Numerator is 15 and 13. Now 15 and 13 का highest common factor क्या होगा? 13 is a prime number. Right? It's either divisible or 1. Right? So since it's a prime number, then 13 and 15 become co-prime. Right? The only thing they will share with amongst them as a common factor is 1. So HCF of numerator will be 1. LCM of denominator is 2 and 4. LCM will be 4. Answer should be 0.25. This is one way of doing it if you know the formula. Another way of doing it is also logically. Logically कैसे करेंगे इसको? You have a stick. This stick is 7.25. You have another stick which is 3.25. Right? Now 3.25 you can use to make a marking. Right? You make one marking, this is 3.25. You can use this stick once more to make another marking. This will be 3.25. 3.25, that means this is 6.5 in total. Now 7.5 minus 6.5. How much will this be? The remaining will be 1. Is 1 the least? No. Now you will use this marking to come down to this one. Use the 1 marking and mark out 1 here, 1 here. You have 2.25 remaining, then 1.25 remaining, then ek aur 1. That means the last thing you have remaining is 0.25. Now 0.25 को आप use कर सकते हो further करने के लिए divide? No. Why? Both of these are multiples of 0.25. Right? The answer is, logically speaking, it is going to be 0.25. Get it? 3.25 को 2 बारी marking कर दो, 7.5 पे, the remaining will be 1. Right? Use that 1 वाला marking to mark out 1, 1 and 1, 3 feet यहाँ पर, right? And then the remaining will be 0.25. 0.25 you cannot use anymore. Why? Because 0.25 is going to perfectly divide 7.5, or it's going to perfectly divide 1 also. Get it? Answer should be 0.25. Easy? This is something that you can do logically, or this is something that you, if you know the formula for it, you can also do it that way. Get it? This is some kind of a question just normally when you speak, or patani, I don't know if you have those friend circles where you guys solve these questions or not. This is a very, very basic question. Right? Kisi ne mathematical aptitude kiya hoga. This is one of the more basic questions that they may ask you. Next is, consider the following arrangements that has some missing letters. Once again, the same trick that you have to apply. Right? First, find out the total number of events here. Right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Right? 20. That means you will have either 10 sets of 2, you will have 5 sets of 4, 4 sets of 5, or 2 sets of 10. Right? Most probably it will be sets of 4 or sets of 5. How do you do this? Put the options back into it. Right? Now, if you put these options back into it, typically start from the bottom. You have B, C, D, and E. Find out set of 4s, AB, AB, BB, CB, CB, DD, CD, CD, ED, ED. No, something in the middle. Find out sets of 5, AB, ABB, BC, BCB, DD, CDC, DE, DED. No, doesn't look like it. Put the other options back in. Right? Put A, double C, E. A, C, C, and E. Find out sets of 4, AB, 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 CB, CB, CD, 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 ED, ED. No. Find out sets of 5, AB, ABA, BC, BCB, CD, CDC, DE, DED. Right? You have A, B, A, B, A. Next thing you have is B, C, B, C, B. Right? Next you have is B, C, B, C, B, C, D, C, D, C. Same thing, +1, +1, +1, +1, and +1. Last is D, E, D, E, D. +1, +1, +1. Answer has to be this. Right? First thing, calculate the total number of events in this sequence. Right? Then find out how many sets can you make. Right? On the basis of those sets, right? Try to put these options back into it and see if there is a pattern which is being followed. Easy? Next question. 2 statements are given, followed by a question. Right? Basically, once again, a data sufficiency question. The question is, are there more than 100 figures in a book? Statement 1 says, there are not more than 2 figures on any page of a 51-page book. So the total number of pages is 51. Statement 1 only says that there is, on every page, right, there will not be more than 2. Now, more than 2 means it could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 2 either. Not more than 2. Right? Does it alone tell you that there will be more than 100 figures? What if there are 0 figures on every one? Right? What if there is 1 figure on every one? What if there are 2 figures on every one? What if there is a combination? Right? You cannot definitively say that there will be more than 100 figures in that book. Right? There are too many possibilities. You can have a 0, you can have a 51, you can have much more than 51, you can have much more than 100 also. Right? If every page has 2 figures, then it's going to be more than 100. Right? But he's only saying there is not more than 2. Not more than 2 ka matlab kya hai? It could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 2 either. So you cannot conclusively say. Is statement 1 alone sufficient to answer the question? No. Statement 2 is there is at least 1 figure. At least ka matlab kya hai? Minimum of 1 figure on every page. Now minimum of 1 could mean anything greater than equal to 1. Right? Is that alone able to tell you that in a 51-page book you will have how many? More than 100? No. Firstly, statement 2 does not even tell you the total number of pages. Only thing it says is that at least 1 figure. That no page will be blank, there will be at least 1. Right? Can you say that there will be 100 figures in that book? You cannot. Statement 2 alone is also not sufficient to answer the question. Combine both of these, right? You have a 51-page book. This is the number of pages. Each page has to have at least one, and there will not be more than two, right? Which is to say either has one or two pages, right? Now, can you definitively say that the book will have more than 100 pages? 100 pages? You can't, right? Because it can be a possibility. It could be 51 or it could be any combination, right? Max it will be is 102. But you still will not be definitely able to say this. Answer will be together are not sufficient to answer the question. But neither, C, answer should be C. Easy? A family of two generations, this is the question of blood relations now. A family of two generations consisting of 6 members, P, Q, R, S, T, and U, has 3 males and 3 females. Right? Some first limiting conditions have been granted. First, that it's a family of 2 generations. Second, there is a total of 6 members. And out of these 6 members, 3 are male and 3 are female. These are what we call your limiting conditions first, right? Next, there are 2 married couples. Once again, another limiting condition that there are 2 married couples and 2 unmarried siblings. Those siblings have to be unmarried. Okay, now let's construct the family tree. Yahan tak thi tumhari limiting conditions. Next is U is P's daughter. If U is P's daughter, that means P is the parent, and U being a daughter, U will be a female, right? So, एक female तो आ गई आपके पास U, right? Next thing he says is Q is R's mother-in-law, right? Since Q is a mother-in-law, Q also will be a female. One is U, another is Q, right? And Q is R's mother-in-law. That means R is married to somebody जिसकी mother is Q. Something like this. T is an unmarried male. That means one, that T is here, T is a male. Another is that T is an unmarried sibling also. Right? T is an unmarried male. S is a male. That means एक और male है आपके पास S. Right? Okay. Which of these is the following is correct? Right? Now you have to construct a family tree here. This is slightly tricky. Why? Right? How will you marry R and who will you marry R to? Right? R can get married to U. R can get married to T. Can R get married to T? No. T is an unmarried male. R can get married to S also. S is a male. Right? So you'll have to combine both of these. Right? Can R get married to P? Can R get married to P? Why not? Then it will make 3 generations, right? You also have to make sure that there are only 2 generations, right? The chances that R is going to get married to will be either U, cannot get married to T because T is an unmarried male, or S. S से marry कर सकता है या फिर U से. Now consider if R marries U. Since U is a female, that means R should be a male. Right? अभी तक heterosexual marriages ही पूछी जाती हैं, right? So R automatically then becomes a male, right? If U becomes a female, and since U is also the child of P, here U becomes the child of Q. That means P and Q have to be married to each other, right? Q will be married to P. Since Q is a female, P is a male. How many males do you have now? You have P, you have R, and 2 males हमारे पास हैं, which is T and S. That makes it 4 males. But the limiting condition is that there are only 3 males. That means R cannot get married to U. The only thing you have to check for is R married to S, right? If R gets married to S, let's get R and S married, right? Then S becomes the child of Q. R being a male, R is a male, yeah? No, R has not been granted, right? If R gets married to S, but S is a male, if S is a male, R becomes a female, right? Next thing you have to check for is U and P, right? Now, if S gets married to Q, can Q and P be married? There are 2 married couples in the family, right? And T is not married. R की हमारा marriage हो ही चुकी है. Then बच कौन सा गया? P. P can get married to Q. If P gets married to Q, then you will have U. U is a female, right? Since there is an unmarried sibling also, can you have T as a sibling? T can be an unmarried sibling. Can this be the equation? Easily? Can this or cannot be? It can be, right? What it makes it is S is a sibling with U, is a sibling with T. How many unmarried siblings? There are 2 unmarried siblings, U and T. Both of them are unmarried, right? How many married couples in the family? 1 and 2, right? Which is also given. There are 2 married couples. There are 2 siblings who are unmarried, right? And then males check kar lo. How many males in this equation? Q was a mother-in-law. That means P will be a male, right? You have 1 male, 2 male, and 3 males. 3 males, 1, 2, and 3, 3 females. Every condition is being satisfied. That means this is your family tree, right? Is R U's husband? No, R cannot be U's husband. First equation was R was U's husband? No. Is R S's wife? This is R. R is S's wife. S is a male, right? Is S unmarried? S is not unmarried because S is the husband of R. None of the above. You have B as the option. Easy, right? You have to keep these limiting conditions in mind before you try to see permutations. There are only 2 generations. That means ये P को आप यहाँ पर marry नहीं कर सकते नीचे. Right? You have to make sure that there are only 2 generations, and the fact that there are only 2 married couples. All of these conditions have to be applied, right? Okay. If in a particular year, 12th of January is a Sunday, then which of these is correct, right? There is an year. He has not said the year is a leap year or not, right? He is saying 12th of January is a Sunday. That means that 12th of January becomes your reference date. Reference date is 12th of Jan, and this is a Sunday. Now, he's asking you whether 15th of July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year, whether 15th of July is a Sunday if the year is a non-leap year, whether 12th of July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year, or 12th of July is not a Sunday if the year is a leap year, right? If you solve, basically this year could be 2. It could be either leap or it could be non-leap. You solve for whether if this year is leap year, then what will be the 12th? If this year is non-leap year, what will be the 12th? If you know 12th, you already know 15th, right? So there could be 2 situations. One where the year is a leap year, another where the year is a non-leap year, right? In case it's a leap year, go from 12th of Jan till the 12th of July. Right? 12th of July आपका निकल गया, तो 15th तो automatically निकल ही जाएगा, right? In case of a leap year, from 12th of Jan till 12th of July, right? Do this very basic question, right? Convention will be, we will not take the reference year and we will take the, reference, we will take the target date. That means in the month of January, how many days will be remaining? You don't have to include 12th also. That means 19 days are remaining. 19 in the month of January. Since it's a leap year, that means in the month of February, how many days? 29 days. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, May. You have to go till the 12th, right? This stops at 12th of July. You have to include the target date also. You could have straight up, although math solve karte, I'm showing you remainders. Otherwise, you just do it in your head itself. In the month of January, how many odd days? 5, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, and 5. 5 plus 5 is 10, 11, 14, 16, 19, 21. 21 divided by 7, remainder will be 0. That means 12th of July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year, right? Considering the year is a leap year, 12th of Jan was a Sunday, and if the year is a leap year, then 12th of July will also be a Sunday. Easy? Got lucky? Do this. Simple hai? Right? The only thing is, because he has not spoken ki year kaun sa hai. So it could be a leap year, it could be a non-leap year, right? He is asking you whether 12th of July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year. 12th of July is not a Sunday if the year is a leap year, right? Then he is asking you 15th of July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year. 15th of July is a Sunday if the year is a not leap year, right? You have to solve for 12th. अगर 12th आ जाएगा तो हमारे पास automatically 15 तो आ ही जाएगा. Right? You got the answer. Answer should be C. Easy? Okay. Inequalities based question. Two statements S1 and S2 given below with regard to four numbers P, Q, R, and S followed by a question. The first one, once again, a data sufficiency question. First statement says R is greater than P as well as Q. That means R is greater than P, R is greater than Q. The question is, amongst the four numbers, now he has said amongst the four numbers P, Q, R, and S, which one is the largest? There are four numbers, right? P, Q, R, and S, which one is the largest? Since the statement 1 talks nothing about S, right? That means what you know is largest P and Q to nahi hai. That's the only thing you know, right? Can you say which of these is the largest? You cannot say on the basis of statement 1 alone, right? So statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question? No. Statement 2 alone says that S is not the largest. Since S is not the largest, amongst these four numbers, any one of these could be the largest. On the basis of statement 2 alone, can you say which is the largest? On the basis of statement 2 alone, can you say which of these is the largest? No. Can you combine both of these and then say? Right? There are only four numbers, right? R is greater than both P and Q, and S is not the largest, but there are only four numbers, right? If R is greater than the other two, right? S is not the largest. That would mean what? That would mean that S is also less than R. R is greater than S also. Largest kaun sa hoega? R. So use statement 1 and 2 together are sufficient to answer the question, right? While neither 1 nor 2 alone are sufficient to answer the question. Easy? Most basic question on inequalities. Okay. A man walks down the back side of his house straight 25 meters and then turns towards the right. He walks 50 meters again, then he turns towards left, again walks 25 meters. If his house faces the east, what is the direction from the starting point? Now the first thing here is important, which is the house faces the east. If this is the house ka gate faces the east direction, right? Because he has mentioned now from the back side of his house. He goes straight from the back side of his house. How much? 25 meters. That means he starts from somewhere here, goes 25 meters. Straight from the back side of his house, goes 25 meters, then turns to the right. Now he's moving in the west direction. Turns towards the right, that means he's not going to go towards the north. How much does he walk? 50 meters. Goes towards the north, walks 50 meters. Then he turns towards the left. If he's facing the north, turns towards the left, that means he's going to face the west direction. Right? Turns towards the left and walks 25 meters. If his house faces the east, what is his direction? From the starting point. Right? This is the starting point. Right? Where is this from the starting point? This is north of west. Right? Answer should be northwest. Easy? How long does it take for you to solve this? Nothing? Syllogism based question. Statement 1 says all cats are dogs. That means if it's a set of cats, all cats are dogs. All cats are black. All cats are black. Right? All cats are dogs. All cats are black. Okay, now we have to consider both of these. You will have a situation where all cats are dogs. Since all cats are also black, you may have a situation where you draw it like this. You could also have a situation where this is the set of cats, this is a set of black, and this is a set of dogs. You may even have a situation where this is a set of cats, dogs, and black. Ye bhi ho sakta hai. Right? Conclusion 1 says all dogs are black. Right? Are all dogs black? They may or may not be black. Right? So this is a case of may or may not be true. Next is some dogs are not black. Now he's not saying some dogs may not be black. He's saying some dogs are not black. Right? It could be a situation where all dogs are even black for that matter. Right? It could be a situation where some dogs are black. Right? It could be a situation where some dogs are black. Right? Anything can be possible here. So case of may or may not be true. Right? The answer here should be neither 1 nor 2 follows. Easy? Consider the following sequence. How many odd numbers are followed by an odd number in the above sequence? First, this is a very basic question, right? You just have to find out which of these are odd numbers, and then you have to check which of these odd numbers is followed by another odd number. Which of these are the odd numbers? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this, and this. Even this for that matter. Right? Check कि सारे देख लिए कि नहीं? 3 रह गया था. Yeah. Right. Now, next thing you have to check for is which of these odd numbers is followed by an odd number. Is 5 followed by an odd number? Yes. There is 1. Is 1 followed by an odd number? No. Is 7 followed by an odd number? Yes. Is 3 followed by an odd number? Yes. Is 9 followed by an odd number? No. Is 5 followed by an odd number? Is 7 followed by an odd number? No. Is 3 followed by an odd number? Is 1 followed by an odd number? Is 5 followed by an odd number? Is 3 followed by an odd number? Is 5 followed by an odd number? 3 and then 9. No. You have 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Answer should be 6. Right? Does not even take you nothing to solve. Easy? All right. This is a question on ranking arrangements once again. A is 16th from the left end in a row of boys. So A ki position from the left end is 16. V is 18th from the right end. V ki position from the right end is 18. G is 11th from A towards the right. Right? From A, if this is the row. This is left and this is right. G is where? He is 11th from A towards the right. A ki position from the left di hui hai. A is somewhere here. A is 16th from the left. G is towards the right of A. How much towards the right of A? 11 steps towards the right of A. That means G from the left will be how much? G will be 27. 16 plus 11. Right? G ki position from the left will be 16 plus 11, which is going to be 27. Okay. And third from V towards the right end. Right? G is 27th from the left. G is third from V towards the right end. V was how much? V was 18th from the right end. That means V is somewhere here. And V, he's third from V towards the right end. That means V comes somewhere here. Right? G is also towards the right of who? Of V. V was how much? V was 18th from the left end. Right? G is third from V towards the right end. 1, 2 and 3. That means V की position from the left end कितनी होगी? Right? G की position from the right end कितनी होगी तुम्हारे पास? तुम्हें क्या लग रहा है? Yeah, this is going to be, if G is third towards the right from V, that means if V is 18 from the right, then this will be 17, 16 and 15. G की position from the right will be 15. Right? Now for G, you know both the position from left and the position from right. Can you say how many total boys are in the row? You have one person for which you know the position from the left and from the right. Therefore, total will be G की position from the left plus G की position from the right. This is 15 plus 27. It should be T plus 1, or T should be 42 minus 1, which is 41. Answer should be 41. Get it? It's very simple. A की position from the left is 16th. G, he says, is 11th towards the right end from A. That's what he says. So if A की position is 16th from the left, G is towards the right of A. How much? 11 places from A itself. So G from the left end will be how much? 16 plus 11, which is 27. Next he says is V from the right end is 18. And where is G? G is third from V towards the right end. Right? If V is somewhere here, G is towards the right of V. Right? Towards the right end. How much? 3 places. Right? V is 18th. That means G is going to be towards the right. How many? 3 places. 18th from the right, 17th from the right, 16th and then 15th. That means G from the right end is 15. Now you know for G both the position from the left and the right end. Right? That's all you needed to find out what the total is. Right? For any element in this row, its position from the right plus its position from the left should always be T plus 1, total plus 1. right? So find out kar lo, answer should be 41. Easy? Basic? Once again, a question on inequalities. 3 statements S1, S2 and S3 are given, followed by a question. Statement 1 says C is younger than D. C is younger than D, but older than A and B. C is older than A and B. Question is, who amongst A, B, C and D is the youngest? Right? Can you say from this equation who is the youngest? What you know is D is older than C and C is older than A and B. Between A and B, you cannot say which is the youngest. So statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question? No. Statement 2 says D is the oldest. If you use only statement 2, what you know is D is the oldest. That means D is not the youngest, right? Amongst each of these, which is the youngest, you cannot say. Statement 3 says A is older than B. On the basis of statement 3 alone, can you say A, B, C and D में से youngest कौन सा होगा? No, right? Now, if you combine S1 and S3, right? Combine S1 and S3. S1 said D is greater than C, C is greater than A and B. S3 says A is older than B. That means something like this. Now can you say amongst A, B, C and D who is the youngest? Youngest is B. So statement 1 and statement 3 combined is going to solve the question for you. Together are sufficient to answer the question D. Easy? Can we move to the next one? All right. The letters from A to Z are numbered from 1 to 26 respectively. If G, H, I is 1, 5, 7, 8, D, E and F is 9, 1, 2, then what is ABC equal to? Right? Now there is an alphabet. Alphabets से एक word बनाया, word corresponds to a certain number. It must have something to do with the places in the alphabet series, right? First find out what is the places in the alphabet series, right? You have E, J, O, T, Y. E is the 5th, J is the 10th, O is the 15th, T is 20 and Y is 25th, right? Position of G in the alphabet series is E, F and G. G is 7, right? Position of H. H will be H, I, J. J is 10, so H will be 8. Position of I now. J, I, J. J will be 9. Right? Now you have to come down to, somehow you have to come down to 1, 5, 7, 8. Right? How do you come down to 1, 5, 7, 8? Right? If you have 7 times 2, you get 14. 8 times 2, you get 16. And 9 times 2, you get 18. Something like this, right? If you have 14, 16, and 18, something like this, right? That's when you will have, this is 8, this is 7, this is 5, and this is 1, 5, 7, 8. Right? Now this is a question you may not be able to get in the exam. It is quite possible that you may not be able to get this exactly pattern kya hai, right? So if you don't get it in the first 20-30 seconds, leave it be. Move to the next one. Let's see if this pattern works for this also. D and F. D ka normal place is 4, E ka normal place is 5, F is 6, right? 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 2 is 10, and 6 times 2 is 12. What do you get? 9, 1, 2, right? Therefore, what should A, B and C be? A ka normal place is 1, B is 2 and C is 3. This will be 2, 4 and 6. Right? 2, 4 and 6. Answer should be this. Easy? Easy to nahi hai. Right? You will not be able to pick this pattern. This is just, these questions are just a function of how many of these questions you have done previously. Right? You sometimes are able to get the pattern very quickly. Sometimes you're not able to get the pattern very quickly. Right? It's not a problem. I can guarantee you कि एक question अगर तुम्हें नहीं आता होगा तो उससे ऐसी कोई तुम्हारी chances रुकेंगे नहीं. Right? What is the missing term at the rate in the following? So these are pairs. These pairs will follow a certain sequence. Right? A, C, P, Q is to B, E, S and U. Now, if you have to go from A to B, this is +1. If you have to go from C to E, C, D and E, this is going to be +2. If you have to go from P to S, P, Q, R and then S, so this will be P +3. And if you have to go from Q to U, Q, R, S, T and then U. Right? +1, +2, +3 and +4. That means M, N, G, I. M +1, N +2, G +3 and I +4. M +1 is N. Do we have N? We have N in all. Next is N +2. N +2 will be M, N, O and P. So it will be N, P. Right? That means ये तो नहीं है. Right? G +3 will be G, H, I and J. N, P, J. That means ये नहीं है. Right? I +4 is I, J, K, L and then M. This should be N, P, J, M. Easy? Right? This is where 2020 ends for you. Right? You're done with 2020 also. Right? In set A, most of the questions were cornered in the beginning itself. Right? देख लो, questions के numbering देख लो आप. 11, 12, 8, 15, 17, 19, 20, 28, 31, 33, 34, 35, 36, 48 and then 49. Right? In the first half of the paper itself, most of the LR questions are cornered. And did you find any one of these challenging? Maybe with that series one. Right? Uske alawa, there is no such question which is challenging. Right? Easy 30 marks you can pocket here itself. This is 2020. Let's do the last one, which is 2019 now. There are so many more questions in 2019. ज़्यादा हैं इसमें. Right? First question. A solid cube is painted yellow, blue and black. I think this we have done in the classes also. Right? A solid cube is painted yellow, blue and black such that opposite faces are of the same color. The cube is then cut into 36 cubes of two different sizes such that 32 cubes are small and the other 4 cubes are big. None of the faces of the bigger cubes is painted blue. How many cubes have only one face painted? Right? Now this is a very simple question. Right. First he says is, there is a solid cube. The solid cube is painted. There is a solid cube. This solid cube is painted in what colors? Yellow, blue and black such that opposite faces are of the same color. That means if the top face is yellow, bottom will also be yellow. If the front face is blue, then back side will also be blue. If this is black, then opposite face will also be black. Something like this. It is then cut into 36 cubes of two different sizes, right? Such that 32 cubes are small and 4 cubes are big, which is to say 2 types of cubes will come out of it. Some big cubes, right? How many are big cubes? We have 4 big cubes and we have 32 smaller cubes. You have to cut it in a manner that 36 cubes come out of it, जिसमें 4 cubes are of the same size, that they are bigger, and 32 are smaller, right? Next, he's saying is, none of the faces of the bigger cubes is painted blue, right? You have to imagine how will this be cut, right? He's given you one hint there. The hint that he has given you is, none of the faces of the bigger cube is painted blue, right? Now, if you look at this color combination, the color combination is such that opposite faces are the same color, right? If the opposite faces are the same color, look at each of these corners. On each of these corners, you will have all three colors, right? You have yellow, blue, and black on this corner. You have yellow, blue, and black on this corner. Yellow, blue, and black on this corner. Similarly here, right? If you look at this corner, same thing. Blue, black, and bottom yellow. This corner will also have three colors. This corner will have three colors. The other corner will have three colors. That means, can the bigger cubes go in the corners? Not at all. Why? Because none of the faces of the bigger cubes is painted blue, and each corner will have all three colors. That means bigger cubes cannot go in corners. Can the bigger cubes go in any of these edges? You can, right? Look at the edges. Edges will have either a yellow-blue combination, a yellow-black combination, or a blue-black combination. The only thing which has been mentioned is the bigger cubes cannot be painted blue. Blue nahi ho sakte, right? That means you have to avoid all those edges jahan combination mein you get a blue, right? That means you will have to place it somewhere here, yellow and black. Can you place them here? Right? How do you place them here? There are 4 of these. So can you place something like this? Kahin beech mein stack kar do inko, right? You already placed 4 of these big cubes. The remaining have to be smaller cubes. Since this is a cube, right? That means dimensions have to be equal, and all of these cubes are also the same dimension. You have to stack 32 aage, right? And piche combined. That means 16 aage jayenge, 16 piche, right? Because you have to make a bigger cube out of this. 16 have to go here, 16 have to go there. How do you make it? Firstly, extend these lines only. Inko extend karo. That means these are 4 big ones aage, 4 big ones piche. We don't need 4 and 4. We need 16 and 16. Now you have to divide each of these bigger cubes into 4 more. Right? How do you do that? Something like this. Right? Is it something like this or something like this? Kaise hoga? How do you draw this? This is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right? Only thing you have to do is this way. That means एक cut यहाँ लगाओ, एक cut यहाँ लगाओ, and एक cut ऐसे लगाओ. Right? Avoid this one. This is not going to be the case. Right? Now do you have 4? Cut one along the height. Right? One cut along the length, cut along the height is going to give you how many? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? You have gotten 4 here, same 4 here, same 4 here, and same 4 here. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 will be 16. Right? Which is to say, इसी line को extend कर लो. Right? You have 4 more. Right? इन्हीं lines को अब नीचे extend कर लो. Something like this. How many now you have? 16. Right? Iन्हीं lines को parallel extend कर लो. This is the only line that has to be extended. This is the only line that has to be extended. This is the only line, and this is the only line. Something like this. 16 पीछे. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 होंगे इस layer में, 4 होंगे इसमें, and 4 होंगे इसमें. Right? Similarly, 16 here. बीच में आ गया आपके पास 4. Right? Now have you made a bigger cube? A bigger cube which satisfies all the conditions? All the smaller cubes are of the same dimension. Right? The bigger cubes do not have any side which is painted blue. Right? And there is a total of 36 odd. The question he now asks you is how many cubes have only one face painted? Only one face painted कहाँ मिलते हैं आपको? Where do you find them? In any painted cube, where do you find such smaller cubes which have only one face painted? They will be at the faces except the corners and the edges. Right? That means you have to avoid this, 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 this. These have to be avoided. Corners and edges have to be avoided. Why? Because corners will have all 3 faces painted, edges will have 2 faces painted. That means only this face, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4, has one face painted. Right? You will have 4 here. Will you include these? Right? These center bigger cubes have 2 faces painted because they are at the edges itself. Right? There is one face yellow, one face black, one face black, one face yellow. Because they lie at the edges, they have 2 faces painted. You don't have to include them. Right? Similarly, यहाँ के पीछे भी होंगे 4 आपके पास. You have to avoid the edges and the corners. If you have 4 in the front, you will have 4 in the back also. So 4 plus 4 will be 8. Answer should be 8. Easy? Right? You may even get 32 को छोड़ के वो 64 दे देंगे तुमको. Right? He may give you 216. Right? You will have to then make cuts accordingly. First, The hint granted to you is this: the none of the face of the bigger cube is painted blue. जो भी color वो बता रहा है उसको avoid करना है, right? So you have to first imagine whether you can place them in the corners, can you place them in the core, can you place them at the edges, right? The hint here was none of the face of the bigger cube is painted blue. That means you have to avoid blue like at any cost. That means corners में it cannot go. Now which of these edges will it go to? जहाँ पर blue नहीं है. So you first place the bigger ones. Then how many of the smaller cubes are remaining? 32. Right? Since you have to make a bigger cube out of it, that means half of them have to go here and half of them have to go there. Right? Now 16 will go here, 16 will go there. How do you stack 16? Right? You will have to first extend these lines only centrally and then decide isko kaise kaatna hai. Right? You have to cut 4, 4, 4 and 4. Similarly 4, 4, 4 and 4 backside. Right? Then you have to solve the question. Get it? Some bit of imagination will take, although we have done this in the class also. Right? What we did was a different question though. The figure was the same, the question was different. Get it? Okay, let's do the next one. First question could be challenging for some people who are not very good at cubes and dices, although it's basic. Mr. X has 3 children. The birthday of the first child falls on the 5th Monday of April. That of the second child falls on the 5th Thursday of November. On which day is the birth of his third child, which falls on the 20th of December? Right? Now this is a question which again could be tricky for some people. Right? Why? Because they will not know how to approach. This is not a standard question where you just have to find out the number of odd days. Right? First thing he tells you is that there are 3 children. Right? The birth of the first one falls on the 5th Monday of April. 5th Monday of April, 5th Thursday of November. 5th Monday of April, that is the birth of the first child. Second child falls on the 5th Thursday of November, and he is asking you to find out the day of birth of the third child, which is 20th of December. Third child is 20th of December. He is asking you to find out कि ये day कौन सा होगा. That means this is your target date, right? This is what you have to find information for, the 20th of December, right? Now how do you normally solve these questions? I told you every question on calendar is a question on odd days, right? If you can find out which of these is the reference date, right? And then from the reference date, find out the total number of odd days, add to it. The hints that are being granted here is that the first child is on the 5th Monday of April. The second child is on the 5th Thursday of November. Right? Now this is very hard to proceed from. The month of April has how many days? 30 days. 30 days means how many weeks? It means 4 weeks. 4 weeks will be 28 days plus 2 days. 4 weeks would mean that there will be 4 Mondays. Right? That means the remaining 2 days, one of these days has to be a Monday. Right? The only way in which the month of April will have 5 Mondays is if the remaining of the 2 days, which will be the 29th or the 30th of April, because April has a total of 30 days, one of these days has to be a Monday. Only then will the month of April have 5 Mondays. That means there are 2 possibilities. Either the 29th of April is a Monday, or the 30th of April is a Monday. Right? Because there are 2 possibilities, you'll have to first establish Sir, एक ही है वहाँ पर. Option A. You have to find out which of these is a Monday. How do you find out which of these is a Monday? He has also given you another hint. The other hint is that the birth of the second child falls on the 5th Thursday of November. That means in the month of November, there are 5 Thursdays. How many days in the month of November? 30 days. Right? 30 days would once again mean 4 weeks and 2 days. 4 weeks will have 4 Thursdays. One of the remaining 2 days has to be a Thursday. That means either the 29th of November or the 30th of November. Either of these days has to be a Thursday. Once you know which of these days is a Thursday, you can easily find out, right, what day of the month will be, of the week will be the 20th of December. Right? Basically, you have to check कि 29th of April अगर Monday होगा, then any of these days will this be a Thursday or not? Right? First, you have to establish that. If 29th of April is a Monday and neither of these days are a Thursday, then that means 30th of April has to be a Monday. Then you have to find out which of these days is a Thursday, right? And then move ahead. Start with this assumption that 29th of April is a Monday, and then see whether 29th of November is a Monday or not, is a Thursday or not, right? If you know what the 29th of November is, you automatically also know what the 30th of November is. First assumption would be, case 1 would be, assuming that 29th of April is a Monday. Now you have to go from 29th of April till the 29th of November. Find out whether 29th of November is a Thursday or 30th of November is a Thursday. Check करना है पहले ये, because the month, this year has 5 Thursdays also in the month of November. Check. Go from 29th of April till the 29th of November, right? Now from the 29th of April to the 29th of November, it's a basic question now, right? You don't take the reference date, you always take the target date. You have to find out this is your target. That means in the month of April, if you do not take the first 29, kitne days remaining? 1. Month of May, how many days remaining? 31. 31 divided by 7 would be remainder of 3. Month of June, remainder 2. July, remainder 3. August, remainder 3. September, remainder 2. October, remainder 3. And November, you have to go till the 29th. That means remainder will be 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 12, 14, 17 and 18. Right? Between the 29th of April and the 29th of November, you have a total of 18 days. एक बार फिर से कंफर्म कर लो, 18 है कि नहीं? अप्रैल में एक ही दिन बचेगा, 1 divided by 7, रिमाइंडर विल बी 1. मई में 31 डेज, जून में 30, जुलाई में 31 डेज, अगस्त में 31 डेज, सितंबर में 30, अक्टूबर में 31 डेज एंड नवंबर में 29. 29 डिवाइड बाय 1. 4, 6, 9, 12, 14, 17 and 18. Right? That means 18 divided by 7, remainder will now be 4. How many days till the 30th of November? 30th तक कितने होंगे? 30th में यहाँ रिमाइंडर क्या आएगा? It will be 2. Right? 29 तक रिमाइंडर क्या आ रहा था? 1. 30th तक रिमाइंडर क्या आएगा? 2. That means total कितने होंगे? 19. 9 divided by 7, remainder will be 5. Right? If the 29th of April is a Monday, right, then 29th of November is how much? Monday plus 4. Monday plus 4 मतलब Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Right? Monday plus 4 is a Friday and 30th क्या होगा? Saturday. That means 29th of April is not a Monday. If 29th of April is not a Monday, that means 30th of April is a Monday. Right? If 30th of April is a Monday, find out which of these dates, month of November will be a Thursday. Right? आपको ये establish करना है, या तो आपको you don't really have to find out 30th of November anymore. Even if you know that the 30th of April is a Monday, see the 30th of April से, you can come down to the 20th of December. Now that you know that this is a Monday, this becomes your reference date, this becomes your target date. Right? If the 30th of April is a Monday, you do not take the reference date, right? That means April में 0 days, right? May में कितने? 31, remainder will be 3. June में 30, July में 31, August में 31, September में 30, October में 31, November में 30, December में you have to go till the 20th. Remainder will be 6. 20 divided by 7, remainder will be 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13, 16, 19, 21, 24. 24 divided by 7, remainder will be 3. If the 30th of April is a Monday, right, then the 20th of December will be Monday plus 3. Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Do we have a Thursday here? We do have a Thursday. Get it? Answer should be Thursday. Right? You only have to establish, right? You have to find out one of these reference dates. Right? What has been granted is month of April had 5 Mondays. Month of November had 5 Thursdays. And here you have to find out what is the 20th of December. Target date पता है, right? Reference date के बारे में आपको information चाहिए. You're not clear as to whether 29th of April is a Monday or the 30th of April is a Monday. Similarly, you're also not clear whether the 29th of November is a Thursday or the 30th of November is a Thursday. Right? First, establish any one of those. एक date के around clarity आपको आ गई, then you can easily solve this question. Right? How will the month of April have 5 Mondays? Right? Month of April has 30 days. 30 days का मतलब क्या? 4 weeks, 4 sets of 7, and then 2 extra days. That means 4 weeks will have 4 Mondays. One of those 2 extra days has to be a Monday. One of those 2 extra days will be 29th or the 30th. Right? Either 29th is a Monday or 30th is a Monday. Establish which one. Right? जहाँ आपको पता चल गया इनमें से कौन सा date Monday है, then you also get your reference date. Once you have your reference date, you can easily find out what the 20th of December will be. Get it? Simple? Not very simple though. For those who do not know calendars, उनके लिए simple नहीं होगा. Although we have done this in the class also. Next is a question on syllogism. Right, first 2 questions would be challenging, probably for somebody who is sitting in this year 2019. Right, start kara logical reasoning se. Maybe first 2 questions will be where they struggle. Right. Statement 1 says some rats are cats, some rats are cats, some cats are dogs, no dog is a cow. That means there is a negative relationship between dogs and cow. Label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Conclusion is no cow is a cat. Right? No cow is a cat. How do you read this? No part of cow can intersect with a cat. Right? Is there any negative relationship between cows and cats? There is a negative relationship between cows and this part of cats, which is 4. But there is nothing stopping 6 from intersecting with 2 or 3. Right? That means right now cows are not intersecting with cats, but cows can also. That means it's a case of may or may not be true. Next he says is no dog is a rat. Now no dog is a rat will only be possible if dogs cannot intersect with rats. The only thing that could have stopped dogs from intersecting with rats would have been a negative relation. Is there any negative relationship between dogs and cats? Dogs and rats? None. Right now they are not intersecting, but nothing stopping rats from intersecting them. Once again, it's a case of may or may not be. Next is some cats are rats. Now clearly some cats are rats. Cats is 2, 3, and 4. Rats is 1 and 2. Are some elements common? Yes, they are. This is true. Which of these above conclusions can be drawn? Answer should be only 3. Easy? Let's move to the next one. In 2002, Minu's age was 1/3 of the age of Meera, whereas in 2010, Minu's age was half the age of Meera. What is Minu's year of birth? Now there is one long way of going about it. Longer way would be assume that Minu's age in 2002, Minu was X, age is X years, in which case Meera ki age kitni hogi? Since Minu is 1/3 of the age of Meera, Meera would be 3x years. Minu's age in 2010. Now 2010 mein Minu's age is half the age of Meera. Now 2002 mein if Minu's age is 8, 2010 mein kitni age hogi Minu ki? X plus 8, because 8 years have passed. Right? What will be the age of Meera in 2010? It will be 3x plus 8. Right? X plus 8 he is saying is half of the age of Meera. X plus 8 is 3x plus 8 divided by 2. Something like this. Right? You have an equation. You will get something like x minus 3x by 2 should be 8 by 2 divided by, minus 8. Something like this. Minus x by 2 is minus 4. X should be 8. That means in 2002, Minu was 8 years of age. Right? That means Minu was born in 2002 minus 8 kar lo, 1994. Answer should be 1994. यही पूछा है? Right? ये तो basic arithmetic का right? Can you do this? Otherwise, you don't have to solve for this. Just आपको year of birth दे के रखे हुए हैं. Right? If 1992 was when Minu was born, that means in 2002 Minu's age would have been how much? 10 years. Right? And in 2002 Meera's age would have been 30 years, because Meera is 3 times the age of Meenu, right? In 2010 now, 2010 में दोनों की एजेस क्या होती? एक की होती 18, दूसरी की कितनी होती? 38. Is 18 half of 38? No. That means this cannot be the answer. Right? Put these back into the play, na? Find out from 1994. If Meenu was born in 1994, that means Meenu's age in 2008 would be 8. How much is Meera's age? Meera is 1/3. Meera is 3 times that of Meenu. Meera would have been 24. Right? So Meenu is 8, Meera is 24. 2010 में एज कितनी होती मीनू की? 8 + 8 एंड इनकी कितनी होती? 24 + 8. This is 16. This is 32. Is 16 half of 32? The answer should be this. Easy? Next. A 5-storied building with floors from 1 and 5. So these are 5-storied buildings, floors 1 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Is painted using 4 different colors. 5-storied building hai, it is using 4 colors. That means koi 2 floors mein there has to be a singular paint, right? And only one color is used to paint a floor. Right? One color is used to paint a floor. That will tell you that between any 2 floors, there has to be one common color. Right? Okay. Consider the following statements. The first statement says the middle 3 floors are painted in different colors. Right? To ensure that any 2 consecutive floors have different colors, only statement 2 is sufficient. Only statement 3 is sufficient. Statement not sufficient, but 1 along 2 is sufficient. This is a data sufficiency question. Right? First statement says the middle 3 floors are painted in different colors. Okay. Is this enough to tell you whether all of these, whether there are 2 consecutive floors which have different colors? Right? There are total of 4 colors and 5 floors. Right? Agar 4 colors and 5 floors, what he is saying, statement 1 is saying is 3 and 4 are painted in different colors. One is painted in color X, color Y and color Z. There is a total of 4 colors only. Right? Now which of these colors could be 1, which of these colors could be 5? If you have one more color which is W, right? W could be this one or W could be this one, right? That means if this is not W, it could have been X also, right? You don't know, right? Is statement 1 alone sufficient to tell you that 2 consecutive floors do not have the same colors? Not enough. Statement 2, is statement 2 sufficient? Statement 2 बोलता है the second and the fourth floors are painted in different colors. If the second and the fourth floor are painted in different colors, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Second is painted in X, 4 is painted in Y, and I have a total of 4 colors, X, Y, W and Z. Right? Is statement 2 alone sufficient to tell you that consecutive floors will not be that of similar colors? Right? You could have a situation where this is X, you could have a situation where this is X, you could have a situation where this is Y or this is Y. Right? You can't tell on the basis of statement 2 alone. Statement 2 alone is sufficient? No. Is statement 3 alone sufficient? 3 क्या बोलता है? The first floor and the 5th floor are painted red. That means this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 floors, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. He's saying first is red, the 5th is red. That means the first and the 5th he's saying are painted in the same color. If the first and 5th painted in the same color, how many colors do you have in total? You have a total of 4 colors. That means the remaining 3 floors will be painted in remaining 3 colors. Right? This could be X, Y and Z. They are different colors that you have, right? Are there any consecutive with, right? You have X in red, and Z in red, right? Now, to prove that only 2 consecutive floors have different colors, every 2 consecutive floors are different colors, only statement 3 is sufficient. If you had only this statement, right? This is alone sufficient to tell you that no 2 consecutive floors will have the same color. Why? Because statement 3 उसने बोला क्या that the first and the 5th one have the same color, and there are a total of 4 colors, right? That means remaining floors कितने हैं? 3. Remaining colors कितने हैं? 3. Right? If the first and the 5th are the same color, you have a total of 4 colors, right? बच गए कितने colors? 3. बच गए कितने floors? 3. That means all of these floors will be painted in different colors. Only similarity will be between 1 and 5. Any 2 consecutive floors have the same colors? No. Right? Statement 3 is sufficient. Easy? हाँ जी, is used to paint a floor. Get it? The middle three are different colors, right? If you say middle three are different colors, imagine करो तुम्हारे पास colors हैं X, Y, W and Z. Middle three are different, right? That means अगर तुमने middle three को X, Y and Z लगा दिया, बच गया W, right? W किसी एक फ्लोर में जाएगा, right? W किस फ्लोर में जाएगा? Let's say यहाँ पर, या तो यहाँ पर, right? अगर W यहाँ चला गया, that means ये क्या ये Z हो सकता है? हाँ हाँ, तो तुम ये अज्यूम क्यों कर लो कि दोनों में W ही होगा, राइट? पॉसिबिलिटी की बात हो रही है ना. द पॉसिबिलिटी इज इफ यू पेंट दीज थ्री इन डिफरेंट कलर्स X, Y and Z एंड यू आर सेइंग देयर आर 4 कलर्स X, Y, Z एंड W. मिडिल थ्री में आपने 3 डिफरेंट कलर्स लगा दिए, बच गया आपके पास एक कलर एंड 2 फ्लोर्स, राइट? यू कुड हैव अ सिचुएशन वेयर बोथ ऑफ दीज फ्लोर्स आर पेंटेड इन दिस कलर W. You could have a situation where one of these floors is painted in W and the other floor could be the same color as the consecutive one. There is a chance. Is there a chance or is there not? Get it? Only thing he's saying is each floor is painted with one color. हर floor में एक ही color होगा, कोई combination नहीं है, right? He's told you 5 floors and 4 colors हैं, right? First statement says middle 3 are painted in different colors. That means there are 2 floors remaining and 1 color. Right? It could be a situation where one color W goes in both of these floors. Exactly that has happened in the statement number 3. It could be that, or it could be a situation where you paint one of these floors in that color and the remaining one in the color which is similar. That is also a possibility, right? Once you now say that first and the fifth one are the same, जहाँ आपने पहला और पांचवा same कर दिया, it means now you have only 3 colors remaining, 3 colors and 3 different floors. Right? Now 3 different colors, 3 different floors, it is able to tell you that all of these consecutive floors or none of these consecutive floors will have the same color. Get it? You have to be definitive. Definitive होना पड़ता है, right, to get these answers right. Can we move? Okay. P, Q and R are 3 towns. The distance between P and Q is 60. While the distance between P and R is 80 kilometers. Right? अभी direction नहीं बता रहा. Q is in the west of P. So if this is P, Q is in the west of P. And how far is Q away from P? 60 kilometers. R is in the south of P. R is in the south of P का मतलब क्या? R goes somewhere here. And what is the distance between R and P? It is 80 kilometers. What is the distance between Q and R? Now this is basic Pythagoras theorem, right? Distance between Q and R, this is going to be a right angle triangle. This will be 336, this is going to be 64, right? 100, answer should be 100 odd kilometers, right? This is 8 and this is 6, right? Square कर लो ना 8 and 6 को, 8 is 64, 6 is 36, right? जोड़ दोगे तो 100, right? So square root अगर लोगे भी तो it should be a 100 odd. Easy, right? Come down to this one. Do this. He's saying in a school, 60% students play cricket. A student who does not play cricket plays football. That means 60% students play cricket, 40% students do not play cricket. And all those students who do not play cricket, they play football. Every football player has got a two-wheeler. That means all of these 40% players have gotten a two-wheeler also. Which of the following conclusions cannot be drawn from the above data? First, he says is 60% of the students do not have two-wheelers. Right? Can you draw this conclusion? 60% of the students will not have two-wheelers. Why not? He has given you only one thing. He said 60% students play cricket. Right? It does not automatically mean that these people do not play football. He says 60% play cricket. That's an affirmative sentence. Right? Only thing that tells you is 40% do not play cricket. Right? अगर 100 बच्चे हैं 60% लोग क्रिकेट खेलते हैं. That means 40% लोग क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते. जो लोग क्रिकेट खेलते हैं क्या वो फुटबॉल नहीं खेल सकते? ऐसे कोई कंडीशन बताई नहीं गई. क्या पता नहीं खेल सकते, क्या पता खेल भी सकते हो. Right? So in which case can you say 60% of the students do not have? This would be true only if he had given a condition that all those students who play cricket do not play football. Right? Only then will this be working. Right? Because he does not tell you anything about these 60% except for the fact that they play cricket. Right? It's not enough for you to tell that these people do not play football and hence do not have two-wheelers also. Right? Not a conclusion that you can make. Second, he says is no cricketer has a two-wheeler. Right? The only thing about cricketers that he has mentioned is that 60% of them are cricketers. Right? Whether cricketers have two-wheelers or not has not been made clear. Cricket players do not play football. Once again, he did not tell you this. Right? Can you draw this conclusion? Not at all. Right? That means which of these cannot be drawn? 1, 2 and 3 cannot be drawn. Easy? जब भी not आ जाए तुरंत उसको encircle कर दीजिए. Right? Because you will have 90 questions which will be or 70 questions will be which of these are true and कहीं बीच में एक not वाला होता है. Right? इसको जहाँ आपको not दिख जाए ना या invalid तुरंत उसको encircle कर देना चाहिए. Right? Because this is a very very common mistake. Right? Okay? Sita and Geeta go for a swim after a gap of every 2 days, every 3 days respectively. If on the 1st of January, both of them went for a swim together, when will they go together next? Similar question on calendars. Or in fact, this is an LCR situation. How will you solve this? Sita and Geeta go for a swim after a gap of every 2 days and 3 days respectively. If they go on the 1st together, then next when they are going to go? Is this a question on 7? This is exactly what I wanted you to say. Right? He's talking about a gap of 2 days. That means if they have gone on 1st of January, Sita is going to go after a gap of 2 days. That means Sita is going to go every 3rd day. Sita हर तीसरे दिन जाएगी, Geeta जाएगी हर चौथे दिन. Geeta is going to go every 4th day. Right? So you have to take an LCM of not 2 and 3. You have to take an LCM of 3 and 4. LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. That means they are going to go to swim after 12 days. If they went on the 1st, next they are going to go will be 1 plus 12, which is going to be 13th of January. Get it? The word mentioned here is gap. Right? A gap of 2 days. If she has gone on 1st, next she is going to go on 2nd and 3rd ko chhod ke, she is going to go on the 4th. Then she is going to go on the 5th, 6th chhod ke 7th. Then she is going to go on 8th, 9th chhod ke 10th. Then she is going to go on 11th, 12th chhod ke 13th. Right? This is very, very important. These are careless mistakes. So हाँ देखोगे ये सब जैसे same last year के question में 10 is power 10th day पूछ लिया. Right? Ordinarily you will just apply 10 is power 10 divided by 7 and come down to the remainder. If you know how to find out a remainder of 10 is power 10 divided by 7, right? You are going to just add to it. Right? These are careful things, careless things or careless mistakes that you are making. Right? Look at it. Gap लिखा हुआ है. Right? जैसे पिछले question में calendar में लिखा हुआ था कि she goes on every 24th day or every 5th day, every 9th day. Right? वहाँ वो gap करके भी लिख सकते थे. One goes on the gap of 4 days. Another person goes on the gap of 23 days. Right? Gap and 4th day में फर्क होगा. Get it? Right? This is the most easiest questions. In fact, ये तो बहुत नहीं जा रहा आपको. 20 ये तो आप बना के draw करके भी बना सकते थे. Right? This is very, very simple. Right? And most of you are going to make this mistake of just taking an LCM of 2 and 3. 2 and 3 का LCM होगा 6. लगा दो 1 plus 6, 7. Right? बहुत सारे लोग ये करोगे. Don't do this. These are easy pickings. इसको बोलते हैं low hanging fruits. What is X in the sequence? right? This is a sequence. You just have to find out how do you go. Is it a increasing or a descending series? This is a descending series, right? 132 to 129 minus 3, 129 to 124 minus 5, 124 to 117 minus 7, 117 to 106 minus 11, 106 to 93 minus 13, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. All of these are prime numbers, right? These are all prime numbers, right? That means next has to be minus 17. 93 minus 17, you'll have a 76. Easy? Do the next one. A wall clock moves 10 minutes fast every 24 hours. The clock was set right to show the correct time at 8 a.m. on a Monday. When the clock shows the time 6 p.m. on Wednesday, what is the correct time? Right? So there are two instances here. One is an incorrect clock. You may also have a correct clock to tell that there is a clock which is incorrect. See, of this clock is that it is going to gain 10 minutes every 24 hours. That means that हर 24 घंटे में ये 10 मिनट आगे का टाइम दिखाएगी आपको. That's what it's going to do. The clock was set right to show the correct time at 8 a.m. on a Monday. That means at 8 a.m. on a Monday, the clock is exactly, incorrect clock is also showing you 8 a.m. It was set right. This is the correct clock and this is the incorrect clock. This incorrect clock every 24 hours gains 10 minutes. That means at 8 a.m. on the following Tuesday, this clock is going to show you 8:10 a.m. Similarly, at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, it's going to show you 8:20 a.m. Something like this, right? He's asking you when this incorrect clock shows a time of 6 p.m. on a Wednesday, right? What is the correct time? Right? How do you do this? One way of doing it is a lengthy way, right? एक clock का 24 hours 10 minutes is the same as 24 hours of the correct clock. Another way of doing it is doing it intuitively, right? Look at the options. The options say 5:18, 5:24, 5:30 and 5:36. These are the timings of the correct clock, है ना? ये तो पूछ रहा है कि correct time क्या है? If the correct time is 5:18 p.m., that means this clock is how much ahead? अगर correct time 5:18 है and the incorrect time is 6 p.m., right? That means ये incorrect clock कितनी आगे चली गई है? 42 minutes. अब 42 minutes gain करने के लिए इसको कितना time लगता है? 4 days. Now between Monday and Wednesday are there 4 days? Right? That means ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता, right? Similarly, look at 5:24. For the correct time to be 5:24 and incorrect clock showing you 6 p.m., that means the incorrect clock has made a gain of how much? 36 minutes. For it to make a gain of 36 minutes, it has to have more than 3 days. Right? हर दिन में 10 ही मिनट गेन करती है. Between Monday and Wednesday, is it more than 3 days? Not at all. So ये भी नहीं हो सकता. 5:30 would mean what? 5:30 would mean a gain of 30 minutes. And 30 minutes gain करने के लिए there has to be exactly 3 days. Right? That means Monday 8 a.m. to Tuesday 8 a.m., Tuesday 8 a.m. to Wednesday 8 a.m., Wednesday 8 a.m. to Thursday 8 a.m. Right? Once again, has there been 3 days? He's talking about what? He's talking 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. वो भी complete नहीं हुआ. That means ये भी answer नहीं होगा. बच कौन सा गया? 5:36. Right? Easy. One way of doing it is a longer way. That incorrect clock का 24 hours 10 minutes is the same as 24 hours of the correct clock. Then you have to solve for it. कि incorrect clock ने कितना दिखाया, वो correct clock का कितना होगा unitary method लगा के. Right? That's a longer way. हाँ. Why not 5:30? Because 5:30 would mean what? It's a gain of 30 minutes. 30 minutes would mean how much? How many days will it the clock take? 3 days, yes. So start from Monday 8 a.m. 3 days complete करो. कितना टाइम? Thursday 8 a.m. Right? Has it been Thursday 8 a.m.? He's telling you it's a day. Right? Easy? Right? इसको बोलते हैं logical reasoning. That you don't even have to move your pen. Right? Simply, you don't have to use those complicated formulae. Just think. Right? Sometimes just look at the options and get to the right answer. What is X in the sequence? Now the sequence is 4, 196, 16, 144, 36, 100, 64, and then X. Right? You look at these numbers, you should be able to tell. You should be practiced enough to know all of these are squares. Right? This is the square of 2, 14 का स्क्वायर, 4 का स्क्वायर, 12 का स्क्वायर, 6 का स्क्वायर, 10 का स्क्वायर एंड 8 का स्क्वायर. Now look at alternate numbers. 2, 4, 6 and 8. Look at these alternate numbers. 4, 14, 12 and 10. This is minus 2, minus 2. Next should be minus 2. It should all be 8 ka square. 64. Right? Easy? Another question on arrangements. Right? Will you be able to solve this? Easy? Right? First, find out the number of terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. There are a total of 15 terms. That means it could be a set of, you could have a 5 sets of 3. You could have 3 sets of 5. Right? Or 15 का एक set, वो तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Right? It could be only this. Right? Put the options back into it. Right? चलो अब की बारी हम ऊपर से स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं. A, B, B, A डाल दो. A, B, B, A. Make sets of 3, 3, 3, 3 and 3 and then make sets of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like this. You have CAA, CCA, ABA, ABB, कुछ लग नहीं रहा. Right? CA, C, C. C, A, C, C. A, B, A. Okay. B, C, A and B. Doesn't look like there's a pattern to it. Go and put the next one. Next one is C, triple B. You have a CCA. Then you have a CCA. Then you have an ABA. Then you have an ABB. ABB and then CBB. ये तो नहीं लग रहा कुछ sequence. Right? Try to see is a set of 5 or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. CC, ACC. AA, BAA. Then you have BB, CBB. ये कुछ ना कुछ pattern तो लग रहा है. Right? If you ask me, answer should be B. Right? CC, A, CC, then AA, BAA, then BB, CBB. Right? Looks like a pattern of sorts. Right? Answer should be B. If you want to solve for it, put the other ones too and find out if there is a pattern that you can find. Next is directions. Directions are typically easy. A started from his house and walked 20 meters towards the east. So A started from his house, walked 20 meters towards the east, where his friend B joined him. They together walked 10 meters in the same direction. So they walked another 10 meters in the same direction. Then A turned left. If you're walking in the east and then you take a left turn, you will now be facing the north. Right? A turned left while B turned right, 2 meters and 8 meters respectively. A turned left and traveled 2 meters. B turned right and traveled 8 meters. Again, B turned left to travel 4 meters, followed by 5 meters to his right to reach his office. Now B is here. B turns left to travel 4 meters. If B is facing the south, takes a left turn, travels 4 meters. That means somewhere here. Then he followed by 5 meters to his right to reach his office. Now he's in the east direction, takes a right turn. That means he's not going to go in the south direction. This is where his office is. Right? A turned right and traveled 12 meters to reach his office. Whereas A is here, turns right, he's facing the north, turns right and travels how much? 12 meters to reach his office. ये रहा A का office and ये रहा B का office. What is the shortest distance between these two offices? You just have to extend it here, right? Find out what the lengths would be. This is 4. How much will this be? This will be 2 plus 8, right? This entire thing then becomes 14, right? How much is this? This is going to be 4. Acha, this is 5. Acha, sorry. This is going to be 5, This is 5, this is 4. This is going to be 15. How much will this length be? This is 4, this is 12, this has to be 8. So 15 ka square plus 8 ka square, 225 plus 8 is 8 ka square is 64, 289, which will be 17. Answer should be 17 meters. Height, isko Pythagoras theorem lagani hai, simple. 15 ka square plus 8 ka square, 289, root of 289 is 70. Easy? Which year has the same calendar as that of 2009? In these questions, what do? First, find out ये year कौन सा type का year है. Is this a leap year or is this a non-leap year? It's a non-leap year. Next thing you want to do for is, right, because these options are all ahead of it, right? Now 2009 has ended, right? Move ahead. 2010, is 2010 a leap year or not? No, it is not, right? Okay, so 2009 is not a leap year. How many odd days? 1. 2010 में कितने odd days? 1 odd day. 2011 में कितने odd days? 1 odd days. Why? Because 2011 is also not a leap year. 2012 will have how many odd days? 2. Why? Because 2012 is an leap year. So 366 days, 366 divided by 7, remainder will be 2. How much up until now? 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 5. Right? We have to make it set 7 or sets of 7. Next year will be 13, not a leap year, so 1 odd day. 14, not a leap year, so 1 odd day. That means which year will have the same calendar as 2009? It will be, right, this is going to be 1 month, 5, 7, 2015. 15 will have the same year, provided 15 is also a non-leap year. Right? Is 2015 a non-leap year? Yes. Right? Which is the reason why it will be a same calendar as that of 2009. If 15 were a leap year, in which case calendar will not be the same. What will happen is, they will be starting from the same day. Right? The calendar will be the same till the 28th of February, 29th जहाँ आएगा, तो एक calendar बदल जाएगा. Right? Answer here should be 2015. Easy? Why not? 17 क्यों? नहीं, you between 2009 and one of these calendar years, the number of odd days have to be 0. Right? 2009 is a non-leap year. That means 365 days. When 2009 gets completed, there are 52 weeks and 1 odd day. Right? That means if 2009 started with, let's say, a Sunday, 2010 is going to start with a Sunday plus 1. Right? Will the calendar will be the same? Not at all. Right? You have to continue doing it till you find either 7 or a set of 7. Right? 7 or a set of 7 क्यों? Because 7 का मतलब क्या? Then you will divide 7 by 7 furthermore, you will have 0 odd days remaining. Get it? Right? Only thing you have to be, you can say, careful about is this year. Right? It should be the same as the answer that you are getting. If it's a non-leap year, the answer should also be a non-leap year. If it's a leap year, the answer should also be a leap year. Why? Because a leap year and a non-leap year cannot have the same calendar. Right? One has 28 days in the month of February, another has 29 days in the month of February. Even if they are starting from the same day, the calendar will differ 28th February onwards. Okay? This is a very, very basic question. If every alternative letter of the English alphabet from B onwards, including B, is written in the lowercase, small letters, and the remaining letters are capitalized, then how is the first month or the second half of the year written? पहले तो पता है कि first month of the second half of the year is July. समय July लिखा हुआ है, right? So you don't have to worry about this. Next thing you have to check for is every alternative letter of the English alphabet from B onwards. That means B is written in lowercase. Right? Since B is 2, every alternate का मतलब क्या है? That all even letters जितने भी होंगे, all of these even letters will be written in small. Right? B का alternate will be C छोड़ के D, then E छोड़ के F. Right? All of these have to be written in small letters. Now you have the word July. Did you get this thing? Right? B, including B, every alternate from B is going to be written in lower cases. That means B is going to be written in lower cases, C is not, D is going to be written in lower cases, E is not, F is going to be written in lower cases, and G is not. All of these are evenly placed. B का normal place in the series is 2, D is 4, F is 6, right? H is 8. जो भी even lettered है, सारे के सारे लिखे होंगे smalls में आपने. And जो odd numbered है, all of this will be written in caps. Simple. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज जुलाई. जुलाई में इवन कौन से हैं? EJOTY. J is 10th. Right? What is the normal place for the series for U in the alphabet series? STU. Right? 21. What is for L? L is 12. What is for Y? 25. So the even ones will be written in smalls. Odd ones will be written in capitals. You will have something like this. J small, U capital, L small, Y capital. You have an option. L small and Y capital. Should be D. Get it? Right? Simple. If every alternate letter of the English alphabet from B onwards, right, is written in lower cases, and the remaining letters are capitalized. That means A is capitalized, B is small, C is capitalized, D is small, E is capitalized, F is small. जो भी even places पे आ रहे हैं, all of these are small, right? For them to be small, then you have to find out second half of the year का पहला month कौन सा होता है? It's July. July में सबकी places पता होनी चाहिए. EJOTY, right? J is 10th. That means J is even placed. Right? U is going to be EJOTY. T के बाद U आता है. T is placed at 20. U has to be 21. Right? L का normal place in the series is 12 and Y का normal place in the series is 25. जो भी odd places में है, they will be capitalized. जो भी even में है, they will be written in small letters. Right? J is even placed, small letters. L is even placed, small letters. U and Y both will be written in caps. Right? So J small, U caps, L small, Y caps. Right? This will be the answer. In the sequence, 157, 357, 4357, how many such 5s are there which are not immediately preceded by 3 but are immediately followed by 7? Right? इससे पहले 3 and followed by 7 कितनों में? Right? Find out the 5s. 1, 2, 3. Right? Preceded by 3, followed by 7. This is followed by 7 but not preceded by 3. This is preceded by 3 and followed by 7. This is preceded by 3 and followed by 7. He is asking you how many of these are not immediately preceded by 3 and followed by 7. Only one. Answer should be A. Easy? Okay. A joint family consists of 7 members, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, with 3 females. That means there are 3 females, 4 will be males. G is a widow and the sister-in-law of D's father, F. Firstly, D के father हैं F. That means if this is D, D's father is F. If F is the father, F becomes a male. Right? Now who is G? G is a widow and sister-in-law of D's father. Sister-in-law का मतलब क्या? F's father is married to somebody जिनकी sister is G. Something like this, right? और F के भाई की widow भी हो सकती है, right? Since she is a widow, तो भाई जो है deceased है, so यहाँ पर तो नहीं mentioned है, right? There are 2 possibilities, right? Sister-in-law का मतलब क्या है? That F has a brother, brother की wife है, right? Another could be F की wife की बहन है, because she is a widow. Widow का मतलब क्या? She has to be a female, right? Then because the person is dead, she said widow. Widow का मतलब क्या? The person is dead. You might as well want to start with F has a wife. Wife की sister is G, right? This will be F's wife. B and D are siblings, okay? And A is the daughter of B. All right. Now B and D are siblings. That means B and D are siblings. That means B and D are siblings, and A is the daughter of B. A is the daughter of B, right? How many females? 3 females. How many males? 4 males. How many females? 1, 2 and 3. The remaining have to be males. This is a male. This is a male. कौन कौन से लोग बचे हमारे पास लगाने के लिए? C and E, right? Okay. Now C is the cousin of B. C is the cousin of B कब होगा? Right? If C could be G's child, C is the cousin of B, right? C will then be, let's say like this, right? C has to be a male. Why? Because 3 females you have already placed. The remaining have, right? C is the cousin of B. Now who is E? E बच गया एक ही spot E के लिए, which is this. You have placed A, B, C, D, E, F and G. 7 members have been placed. You know the respective genders now. You have to solve the question. Question says, who is E? E is the wife of F. Grandmother of A. A के father ये रहे, right? हाँ, A के father ये रहे and father की mother भी E ही है, right? This is correct. Is E the aunt of C? Where is C? C रही, E is the aunt of C, right? This is also correct. Select the correct answer using the codes. Has to be 1, 2 and 3. Get it? Right? These are limiting conditions. Limiting conditions ko always keep them in mind. How many females? The remaining have to be males. Remember, only heteronormativity in these questions, right? All right, this is rather basic. If dollar means divided by, @ means multiplied by, hash means minus, then what is the value of this? Now, this is a BODMAS based question. Right? You have 10, hash means minus, 5, @ means multiplied by 1, dollar means divided by 5. Now, first you solve for this. 5 times 1 by 5. Now, 5 times 1 by 5 will be 1, 10 minus 1 will be 9. Answer should be 9. This is a BODMAS based question. Right? BODMAS kar lena pehle. Right? Do you know BODMAS? Right? This is that. Okay. Next is this one. 6 students A, B, C, D, E and F appear in several tests. I, C or F scores the highest. Right? That means there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 children. C or F are the highest. दोनों में से एक कोई highest है. Whenever C scores the highest, then E scores the least. Whenever F scores the highest, then B scores the least. All right? In all the tests, they have got different marks. So good thing for you, different marks hai. That means you can write all of them down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Different है, तो मतलब एक descending order बन जाएगी. Right? कोई भी equal नहीं है. Right? Okay. D scores higher than A, but they are close competitors. Now D scores higher than A, but they are close competitors का मतलब क्या? Right? They are next to each other. Right? So you have a D greater than A, and they will move on block. Next is A scores higher than B. Now A scores higher than B. C scores higher than A. C scores higher than A, मतलब क्या हुआ? A scores less than C is also higher than A. Right? Okay. If F stands second in the ranking, then the position of B is. Now F stands second in the ranking. F second है in the ranking. इसने क्या दिया था? Either C or F scores the highest. If F scores the highest, B scores the least. That means अगर F highest नहीं है, F is second in the ranking, top कौन कर रहा है? C is topping. Simple. When C tops, who scores the least? E scores the least. Right? बच कौन सा गया तुम्हारे पास? You have, sorry, we have one more ना. एक और spot तो बनानी पड़ेगी. Something like this. Right? There are 6 children in total. Right? Now, if this is the situation, how do you place remaining D, A and B? D is greater than A is greater than B. Right? You can please place D here, A here and B here. Right? What he has said is, F stands second in the ranking. मतलब F ने top नहीं किया. Either C or F tops. Right? If F is not topped, who will have topped? C. When C tops, who scores the least? E scores the least. So E goes here, C goes here, F goes here. बच गई कितनी स्पॉट्स? 3 ही, राइट? 3 में बचे कौन से तुम्हारे पास प्लेस करने के लिए? A, D एंड B, राइट? अब D and A are close competitors. D scores more than A scores more than B. There are 3 spots only. This is how you place them, right? Now the position of B is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Fifth. Easy. If B scores the least, right? B scores the least का मतलब क्या है? B goes here, right? When B scores the least, that means किसने टॉप किया? F. That means F has scored the highest. Something like this. If B scores the least, then the rank of C will be, right? Now remaining तुम्हारे पास क्या है place करने के लिए? C, D, A and B, right? Amongst all of these, C is greater than A, D is greater than A, right? And then you have F also. F आपने place कर दिया हुआ है. C, D, A and E you have to place, right? Now if B scores the least, that means B goes here, that means F goes here, right? Now amongst A and B, देखो C के आगे कितने लोग होने चाहिए? C has to have at least A in front of it. A से पहले होगा D. All right. A is greater than B. Clearly C has to have 2 people ahead of him, right? A जा सकता है यहाँ पे, right? C कहाँ जा पाएगा? Where will C be going? Remember D and A move en bloc, right? So if A goes here, then D goes here. That means C can go either here or here, right? This can be a situation. Or you will have D here, A here. Or can you have D here or A here? Can you have that? Why? Tell me what is the logic. C is greater than A is greater than B. That means C के आगे 2 spot तो होने ही होने चाहिए, right? C has to have 2 spots in front of it, right? Can C go here? It can, right? You have to have A and then B. It can go here also, right? Can C go here? It certainly can. Can C go here? It certainly can, right? Now solve this. Let me take the board picture. Conditions granted are, there are कितने लोग? 6 लोग. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It says if B scores the least, that means B goes here. B scoring the least का meaning क्या है? If B scores the least, that means F has scored the highest. F has scored the highest. What you also know is D and A are close competitors, right? He has said D scores higher than A, but they are close competitors. That means D and A have to move together. Wherever you go, you have to have 2 spots for them. Next condition he tells you is A scores higher than B. That means A scores higher than B. Cool. D is anyways the least. C scores higher than A. Now C scores higher than A का meaning क्या है? D and A can be here. C scores higher than A would mean anywhere above D, right? E के लिए कोई condition दी है इसने? E के लिए एक ही condition दी हुई है इसने, which is when C scores the highest, E scores the least. Now C clearly has not scored the highest, right? Now where do you put D and A? You can put D and A here, right? You can put D and A here also, right? Can you put D and A here? Can you put D and A here? Can you? Why? Because C is higher than A. C higher than A है, ये तो नहीं हो सकता. C higher than A, C can go here. That means E will go here. ये तो B and ये तो F है ही, right? In this case, C can go either here, then E goes here, or E goes here, then C goes here. Simple, right? These are the possibilities. Question क्या पूछता है? If B scores the least, then the rank of C will be, now C at best will be either second or can be third. The answer is D. Possibilities, second or third. Get it? Next is, if E is ranked third, अगर E की rank है 3, which of the following is correct? Now E ranked third का meaning क्या है? C has not scored the highest. E is ranked third. E goes here. If E goes third, right, then that means C is not the highest, because if C is the highest, then E is the least. That means who is the highest? F. Either C or F tops. That means F is at the top, B is at the bottom. Now you have two spots, जो लगातार वाली हैं, there are only these two. That means this is going to be going to D and this is going to be A. This therefore has to be C. Right? This is your arrangement. The question is, if E is ranked third, then which of the following is correct? E gets more marks than C? No. E is less marks than C. C gets more marks than E? Yes. A is ranked fourth? No. 1, 2, 3 and 4th. A is ranked fifth. D is ranked fifth? No. D is ranked fourth. The correct answer should be option C. C makes more marks than E. Get it? Right. Now you know, once you have one answer for every question, that is when you know your arrangement is correct. Move ahead. Last question. Okay. Twice the weight of Sohan is less than the weight of Mohan and that of Rohan. So that means twice the weight of Sohan is less than the weight of Mohan. Twice the weight of Sohan is less than the weight of Rohan. Can you make any conclusions on this? Mohan is more than twice the weight of Sohan. That means Mohan definitely is greater than Sohan. मोहन अगर सोहन के दुगने से भी ज्यादा है तो क्लियरली मोहन सोहन के वेट से ज्यादा है, राइट? सिमिलरली रोहन इज ग्रेटर देन सोहन in terms of weight. These are the conclusions you can draw. Easy, right? Which of the following statements is correct? Weight of Mohan is the greatest. नहीं, अभी पहले second statement 2 भी देख लेते हैं. Statement 2 says twice the weight of Rohan is greater than the weight of Mohan or that of Sohan. Twice the weight of Rohan is greater than that of Sohan. Can you say that Rohan ka weight is greater than Mohan from this? No. Twice the weight of Rohan he's saying is greater than Mohan. Right? It could be anything. Right? You cannot say this. Can you say Rohan is greater than Sohan? Twice the weight of Rohan is greater than Sohan? You don't know. Right? So you even cannot say Rohan is greater than Sohan. Right? But from the first equation you had said Rohan is greater than Sohan. ये आपको पता है पहली equation से. Right? Question is, which of the following statements is correct? First is this, weight of Mohan is the greatest. Now there are three people. Three people mein Rohan is greater than Sohan for sure. Right? Next, Mohan is also greater than Sohan for sure. Between Rohan and Mohan, can you say something? You don't know. Right? Weight of Mohan is the greatest? We can't say. Weight of Sohan is the greatest? Clearly not, because Sohan has to be the least. Right? Weight of Rohan is the greatest. Right? Whose weight is greatest cannot be determined. This is what the answer should be. Next is, which one of the following statements is correct? Weight of Mohan is the least? No. Weight of Sohan is the least? Yes. Weight of Sohan is the least. वो तो पहली equations आपको पता चल गया था. Right? Whose weight is least cannot be determined. No, ऐसा नहीं है. Weight of Rohan is the least. Right? One thing, greatest कौन है ये determine नहीं कर सकते. Least कौन है ये पता है. Get it? One answer should be D, the other one should be B. With that said, 2019 is also over. Which of these did you find the most challenging? Huh? Now compare this with quantitative aptitude. Right? With quants, do you think logical reasoning is as difficult as quants? It can be if they want to make it so. But up until now, look at the trends. According to the trends, logical reasoning is the more doable of quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning combined. Right? To clear this exam, as have been the given trends, they may make it very easy next time. You never know. Right? But right now, as the going trends have been, you have to have at least two areas of strength. Right? या तो RC and LR हो, या तो quant and LR हो, या तो quant and RC हो, जो भी हो, but you have to have two at least. Right? If you ask me, if you're somebody who's not very good with quants, rely on LR and RC ka combination. Right? Remember, RC alone, if in theory, it can help you clear the cutoff too. But मान के चलो, we'll have a session on RC also. मान के चलो 3 से 4 आपके normally गलत होंगे RC में, which you will see tomorrow itself. Right? So rely on LR also. What were the most common areas that they asked you questions from? Most common was inequalities, right? Some syllogism, calendars, some clocks, उसके अलावा blood relations, cubes and dices, right? Are any of these questions very, very complicated? Right? Some of these questions could be challenging. In every set, you will find maybe 1, 2 odd जो थोड़े से challenging होंगे, right? One question that we found on basic arrangements, which was very lengthy, right? Which was a circular arrangement. You could have solved this also. ऐसा नहीं कि solve नहीं कर सकते. It was not impossible to solve, but it was quite lengthy. So in every year, the trend so far has been कि 15 अगर आएंगे तो 2 या 3 questions होंगे जिसमें आपको challenge feel होगा. बाकी none of these questions are challenging even if you have had a basic preparation of LR. Basic, right? So if you can, try to do one thing, find out LRK questions first, right? Solve them first, right? Then move to other chapters, right? What I would recommend is 1 hour for LR and QA combined and then 1 hour for RCs, depending on whether you can do RCs or not. Some people are very, very good at quant and LR, but not very good at English, right? So they can rely on quant and LR also, right? Quant and LR is somewhere around 55 odd questions, good enough. इससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए तुमको? You have to clear 67, right? This is what you have to remember. Get it? LR should be done first, but this is only on the basis of the given trends. Tomorrow, if they decide to, they can make LR very difficult also. But so far, there has been no such indication that they're going to make LR very difficult. Every year, remember this, you will always have 28 questions which are very, very doable. Every year. You just have to have a knack of finding those questions first, right? This is the reason why I did not categorize them into topics. Just look at clusters of questions, right? कई जगहों पे वो 49 तक set A में खत्म ही हो चुके थे सारे के सारे LR, right? So you have to identify these questions first, do them first, at least get 30, 35 odd, right? उसके बाद it's easy for you, right? Then you have to go only to 67. A lot of people fail in this. They fail primarily because of 2 reasons. One, not enough practice, right? Quants and LR will require practice, right? Second reason would be they do not know how to navigate. Right? कि कैसे इसको solve करना है. Straight up from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 मत करो. Have a strategy. The strategy should rely on you completing your LR and QA first, right? In a time-bound manner, whichever number of questions you can do till in the first hour, then go on to RCs. RCs are going to take you time. You will see why, right? Because the options are very, very close to each other. So it takes you time. Get it? So with that said, have a good day.